Triker! Oh my gosh, thank you for the raid! Hi guys! I'm actually gonna go right. I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna go. But hi guys! I'm gonna go straight to the stream. You guys are able to get. Oh wow, it's broken. Oh no. Oh no.
What did you break?
Where's my rocks? There's my rocks. Okay, the rocks are here. The rocks are here. So, you guys, once you guys actually chat, you guys are able to, get your rock on here, and we're going to be doing an art raffle. Also, Triker, if you want to join the, VC, it is in my stream, like, it's in my stream Discord. You are a Bebel bestie. Also, for those who don't know me, I'm Obsidian the Rock Boy. I'm a rock. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follows. Oh no, Stone, your back hurts. Oh no. But yeah, you guys are also able to.
That's the realest thing I've ever heard.
You guys are also able to basically choose like what you have. Yes. You guys are able to choose like what your little characters have. So, if you guys want to have a green avatar like Bacon Bit, also I optimize them. If you guys want to have a green avatar like a Bacon Bit, all you gotta do is go next to the sound alerts button, and you have to, like, basically what you do is you can choose what color you are, you can choose your hat. I have a couple extra hats now. A lot of you guys look like you guys have shark hats. Some of you guys also have these ones. Yeah, Ants, like right here, Ants is a blue avatar with... I'm holding you. You cannot attack Triker yet. You cannot attack them.
Crazy! Crazy! Put them in the box. How dare they try attacking Triker? Yeah, how dare they? How dare they?
I literally picked them up at the best time. But yeah, basically, so the way that Be Green make the world a better place. But yeah, there's also like, you like your shark? Okay. So I'm gonna use my little character right here as an example for what you can also have. There is, oh, out of the way, please. Thank you. There's also there's the shark hat, of course. There's the dragon mode, which I usually have on. There's Yeehaw, which is basically you get your little cowboy hat. You guys get to do, this is basically based off of Lexi Dio. Another really good artist, by the way. They haven't streamed in a while, though. This is their character Chad's hat. Phantom mode, which is one of my friends, Zero Byte. Then you can have googly eyes. There's also the one like that I made for one of the ones that I made for Salem right here. Another one that I made for Salem. It's the 6-eared macaque, and then Skimble.
It's not even a 6-eared macaque. His name is just 6 ears, which is funny as hell to me.
There's also little axolotl. There's also the everything bagel hat. You like the little rainbow fin? Their ears. Then the little 6 ears. Then there's a whole other page. There's the cheese hat. I think Cheese would like that one.
Cheese would approve,
where am I going? I'm just going. Excuse me, you get back up there. There's one more hat. And then Skimble Shakes. It's one of the 2 animated hats I've got. You yearn to be gayer. Where's mine?
They yearn for the gay.
Okay. So, for those who are wanting to be in the art raffle, are you guys, like, just make sure that you guys all have, at least sent one message. Because if you haven't sent a message, your rock wouldn't be here. Make sure that your rock is here. Also, if Ko-Fi Bot or Stream Elements wins It's gonna be like a re-roll. We're gonna have to redo it. So we have ants. You two are gonna go up here for now. We have back alley
Where's my
cryptid.
rock?
We have Churiker. We have Salem cat. You have a shark cat. We have assembly.
Oh.
There's me. If I win, also it's gonna be like a re-roll. We have stone. We have bit, and we have bacon bit. Does anybody else want to join in? If you guys haven't
I
joined
gotta change
in,
my avatar. I gotta change
you
my
gotta change it.
rock.
You gotta change it. Yeah.
I gotta change my rock.
You gotta change your rock. Change your rock. You're the piss boy now.
I'm working on it. I gotta find hats. I gotta find a hat. There we go. Now I'm perfect.
You're a piss boy.
If it actually works.
You won't win because you want to. You'll win because you need to. But yeah, oh, hydrate. Okay, I'll hydrate. I've got, so before stream, I actually got Swig. I have their shark attack. It's like lemonade with blue raspberry. It's honestly really good. Very good. Very good.
I changed my rock, but it says I didn't.
What
Why am I
rock did you
yellow?
change it?
Why did it
I
change
don't
me
know.
back
You
to- why
changed
am I
to
not-
yellow. What color are you?
I did
are
not.
you trying to be?
It was orange. I changed to orange, and then I put on the
There you
skimble shanks.
go.
Yeah, there.
There you go. You're orange now.
What?
Hope you're in orbit now.
Let's go.
But
I'm
yeah,
in orbit.
so I'm going to start the battle royale.
Ow. Ah! I'm getting shot at. Oh my god.
I'm going to start
I'm
the battle
okay.
royale now.
Okay.
So it'll basically this is what's going to happen. It's going to the plane's going to drop y'all all off. You want to go into orbit?
Why am I
Maybe
stuck with
after
yellow?
the You're orange, you're
Oh, now it
orange.
changes. Now it changes. It changed.
But yeah, basically you guys just fight each other.
Am I delayed? Is my stream delayed?
You're definitely delayed. You are definitely very delayed.
Oh no.
But yeah, it's a battle
on.
royale.
I'm gonna restart my Twitch. Give me a minute.
I don't know who. I saw Ko-Fi bot. I think that's Assembly.
Ko-Fi bot can't play. Kick him out.
I can't kick him out. Okay,
Kick
so
'em
far
out.
it is. Oh.
Now I have
Ants,
to watch a pre-app.
me. I'm probably going to have to it might be Ants actually. Ants might win this. Ants might win this. I don't know why they just started walking like that, but they did.
I wonder what happens if I touch this thing.
Ants has
Oh my
won the
God.
raffle. Ants has won the first raffle. Let's go.
Oh,
Let's go. Where did Ants go?
Don't
Where's
revive
Ants?
me. Just leave me for dead. Ow.
Where's Ants' rock? Oh, there, there.
Why
Ants
can't I
has
run?
won. Oh, let's go. So just make sure, like, just send me your reference.
Ow. Ow. No,
I
just
didn't
kill me.
rig
Just
it.
kill me.
I did not rig it.
You rigged it.
I did not rig it. So
You rigged
the
it.
options, because I now have I have two options. An ornament. I was making this last night. You get to have your little character as an ornament. Or you can get a worm. So just
A
make sure to send
worm.
just make sure to send me your reference so that I can put it in. Also, wait, Ants, are you able to even join the call?
Who knows? Beat him up.
Hold up, let me actually make it to where Ants is able to join. Rolls, you. Okay. Okay. Let's grab the reference. And what would you like? Would you like a worm or an ornament?
Oh, they're in ads,
Oh no.
apparently.
Oh no.
I'm not in ads because I already watched a pre-roll ad just to watch stream again.
Oh no. I'm gonna wait until the ads are done. Oh no. Make me a real
Okay.
worm. Okay, so you want a worm. Wait, a real
I
worm?
want to be a real worm.
This is the realest worm. This is the realest worm.
When I grow up, I want to be a real worm. Yes, Tibbles, I have a most special, most wondrous dream. I accidentally closed out of Twitch.tv. I'm gonna have to watch another ad.
All right, have fun, Triker.
Bye, Triker. Bye, Triker. Bye, Triker. Bye,
Triker.
Guys, Triker is such a good bean.
I know, right? Triker's awesome. Triker is awesome.
Triker is awesome.
Triker's amazing.
I'm glad we can agree on.
You're welcome. Yay! Welcome back. Welcome back. You don't. I thought, what? Hold up. Let me fix this real quick. Ah, yes. I start stream and everything becomes scuffed. Yummy. Okay, server settings.
Yummy, there's a party in my tummy.
So yummy. So
Yummy, so yummy. I wish we can do soundboards from from my PlayStation. I can't even do it from my phone unless I
awesome.
join the call. I can hear soundboards. So if you play a soundboard, I can hear it.
Wait,
But,
is it in the
like,
VC
I can't-
settings?
Maybe. I think I'm about to fix it.
Permissions. Oh. That's why you couldn't join. Okay, okay. You should be able to see it now. For some reason, it just it wasn't.
This also
wanting
in
to...
VC1. Sigh.
Oh no. Also, for some
I'm
reason,
so broken.
why are you wanting to punch
Ants
Ko-Fi
is
Bot?
not-
Oh my gosh.
Kill Ko-Fi Bot. What if Ko-Fi Bot wins the next one?
It's just gonna be. I'm just gonna redo it. There they are. There's the ants.
Cool.
You
There's
forget
the
my
ants.
pronouns.
I fell and died.
It's the antiest ant.
It's the antiest ant. So it has an antivirus?
I feel like an ant that isn't also a raccoon would be more ant than me.
No!
Nah.
There we go. Saved myself.
It's Black Friday, so I just bought Ghost of Yote full price.
Oh. I said that I was going to go to. I said I was gonna go to Ollie's, and then I didn't go to Ollie's.
Didn't you say you're going to Aldi's?
Ollie's.
No, I said Ollie's.
Oh no. Oh, thank God.
Ollie's is a little bit too. Oh, El Macaco is challenging you to a duel, Salem.
I'm busy playing. I can wait.
Oh my gosh.
I'm busy doing parkour, dog.
You're doing parkour.
Yeah, parkour is more important, obviously. Why is everyone trying
Oh.
to duel me?
Because you got such a punchable face.
If I win, you're banned from chat.
No, Salem, no. Salem, no. Salem, no.
I was about to say, you don't got the permission to do that. No, you got the permission to do that.
I know I do. I won't. Can I time him out? Because we got a thing going, though. Like,
Oh
we
my
got a joke
gosh.
thing going.
Oh my gosh. Salem just wants to time them out. Salem just wants to time them out.
You're just jealous. You're
I
just
vote for a
jealous.
50-second timeout.
What do you mean I'm jealous?
You're just jealous.
El Macaco won, by the way.
I can't believe you'd be this
Yeah, I
jealous,
see.
Sid.
Yeah, Sid, you're just jealous of our friendship.
You know, envy
I'm
is a sin.
I'm not jealous.
You're just jealous of this friendship.
You know, lying is a sin too.
Yeah, stop lying. You're just jealous of mine and El Macaco's friendship.
Oh, what? 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 Hello?
Oh my god.
Hello?
Can't believe
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, I can't believe this. I can't believe you're jealous of mine and Elma's friendship. That you would hate on it.
You're going to like double hell because of all the sins you've committed today. Just today. Today's the only day that matters.
The hell?
Oh. Oh my god. Um I've I'm looking through my PlayStation like settings and I've just found my most played game.
What's your most played game?
Genshin Impact. Guess
Oh,
how many
jeez.
hours?
How many hours do you have in Genshin
So I'll
Impact?
say this: my second most played game is Ghost of Tsushima, which is why I bought the sequel. The second Ghost of Tsushima has 246 hours. Guess how many Genshin Impact has?
1,880. I don't know.
Close, 2,447 hours.
God
Gosh.
damn! Wait, how do you check? How do you check? How do you check? I want to check mine.
You go into profile of you like the top right where your icon is, your profile,
Oh,
then
yeah.
an overview. And I see you have the sequel to fuck.
You have the sequel to Fuck Salem.
No.
Oh, that's awesome.
What are
The
the
sequel to
Guardian
Fuck.
Sentinels, whatever they're called?
Fuck 2.
That's so slay.
The Last Guardian, right? That's you.
I love The Last
Guardian.
Guardian. Yeah, I love
You
The
have
Last
it as your
Guardian.
profile, your
Yes.
avatar.
Yes, I love The Last Guardian. It's my favorite game. I can't hate on it no matter what. It's so pretty. Such a good
I
game.
can't hate on it because I've never played on it.
Oh my gosh.
It's such a good game. Please give it a try. It's so good. I
I
love
don't got
it.
money for that. I spent all my money on Ghost of Yote.
Oh my god.
Every single dollar.
Okay, guess my most played.
Is it Roblox?
Oh my god, you're so right. And then I have Minecraft in second, and then Final Fantasy 14, I think.
You have like 3,000 hours in Roblox.
You spent all
I
your
have
money on a Twinkie?
1,288.
Oh man.
That's crazy, Elma. Yeah, I have
Oh
1,288
wait.
hours
Oh
on
no,
Roblox.
Suki's here. Suki's here. Ants, get out of the box. I just threw them out the I just threw you at the wall. Full speed and you
so
bounce off of
mean.
it.
You murdered
mean.
me. You've
That's
killed me.
Get into orbit.
crazy. That's crazy. Wait, why did we kick ants out of the box?
Suki's here. I totally had you in the box the entire time, Suki. You were in the box the entire time.
Is the box reserved for Suki?
Yeah.
Can I go in
It's
the
for
box
Suki
with
and
Suki?
Ko-Fi.
Get Ko-Fi out of there. I want to be with Suki.
Mm-hmm.
Minecraft. You want to know how many hours
Hey.
Minecraft has?
Salem, would you quickly do me a favor and type into chat exclamation point mass explode?
No! Do not do that! Do not do it! Don't do it! No! Please, no! No!
Did I do it?
You killed
right?
everybody!
Oh.
You killed everybody!
Listen, I was told to do it.
You. Just because you were told to do something doesn't mean you should.
Elma's enjoying it.
No,
Look at Elma. They're enjoying it.
I need to find.
I'm a higher power, which is why you should always listen to me.
There y'all go. There y'all go. Here, y'all
That's why I
get
said earlier
some stars.
I didn't win because I wanted to. It's because I needed to.
Except me, I am the survivor. What if I just did it again?
No! No, please, no! I just put them in
I'm gonna
there!
ruin Sid's PC.
I just put them in there! I just put them in there. I gotta grab them back now.
Survives. No one
Hey
survives.
Suki, do you want like a crap ton of points? I wonder how many notifications does it give?
Probably a lot.
Okay, it just oh, Suki just ate all of them.
Nom 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 nom.
I gotta pick out I gotta pick out Ko-Fi.
No,
Here y'all
let me in
go.
there. Put me in there.
Have a bunch of stars. There y'all
Get Ko-Fi bot out of
go.
there. Get Ko-Fi bot out of there. I want to be with Suki instead. Kill Ko-Fi bot. Let me in.
No.
You know what? I'm the.
Suki's just getting all the
I
points.
was about to say I'm the only shark now, because everyone wants to be fucking Scrimshaw Salem. I forget the name.
Skimbleshanks.
I'm the OG, so that's all that matters.
I made them last night.
I want to be different. Yeah, you did. You were like, thank God Salem can't see my screen.
You're gonna do the 6-year macaque?
It's not even the 6-year macaque. His name is just 6 years, and yes, that's my essay.
Why are you wanting to duel me?
Based off the 6-year macaque.
Let's see who
hacks?
wins.
It's at the bottom. I love how you call it the 6-year macaque and then the file name.
6-ear macaque. Mythological creature.
Yeah, like Chinese mythology.
I feel like Journey to the West is just fan fiction.
It's really not.
Because just invented by a 16th century Chinese guy.
Yeah. Isn't that
Okay,
how all mythology basically is?
That is God. That is God fan fiction right there.
It's not though.
You won with 1 HP. Holy cow.
It's
That's
funny
wild.
how like 7 or 8 chapters is literally just about Sun Wukong when Tripitaka is literally the main character. It's so funny.
Have you read the original?
Dude, I love Journey to the West.
And all properties based off of it.
Yes. I'm a little crazy.
Especially Monkey Kid.
Yeah, especially a Monkey Kid. I'm crazy. I'm a little crazy. You know what? I'm gonna watch a movie actually. Hold on.
Oh my
We like you for your
gosh.
crazy.
I'm gonna go on Tubi because they have Neja and then they have Monkey King and like I can geek out.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna go watch Kung Fu Panda.
I'll just watch as a guest. I'm gonna watch Kung Fu Panda. It's crazy. Oh my god, they have Coraline!
They have Coraline on Tubi?
Yeah, they have Coraline. Making up a song about Coraline. She's a peach, she's a dog.
I hope y'all have a nice day night, whatever time it is.
Tubi money.
No, it's completely free.
No, it's free. You just get ads, which makes sense. I love how you're like, wait, they have Coraline on Tubi? And then I'm like, yeah, and they're like, okay, everybody, we're done. We're out. Peace.
I endorse crime, and I am paid by Obsidian the Rock Boy to say this publicly.
Crazy. They also have
I'm
Shrek
paying you
Forever After.
You're paying me to
I
say
hope y'all have a nice day
endorse
night, whatever time
crime.
it is for you. Be cool, be nice.
Why do they have Sonic Boom? That show does not feel real, gang.
I literally like
I'm so
binge
incredibly
watched that.
iconic that I make you money.
Oh my god, they do have
Speaking of
Neja.
which,
Guys,
hey,
I can watch
did you know
Neja.
Obsidian the Rock Boy has commissions?
If you look
If
at
you
the
want
pinned
some-
message, if you want
I
your
also-
own art, you guys get.
And also, hey lurkers, put in your favorite emote in chat.
Yo, they got the
Yeah.
Synchronative Nymph. Oh my god, they have Space Chimps.
Oh shit, I'm a lurker now.
Yeah, you're a lurker. I can't believe you.
Oh my god, and the Synchronative Nymph too? Timmy to the rescue? Oh my gosh. Oh my god, they have Legend of Kung Fu Rabbit. Little
Oh my
baby.
gosh.
It's the fact I own that movie, actually.
You own like a DVD?
Yeah, I have a whole bunch of DVDs. Oh, they have Titanic. Guys, we can watch the Titanic.
Draw me like one of your French worms.
That's crazy. Most search documents. No, I don't care. Thrillers, don't care. Recently added, don't care. Wait,
There was a
Shrek
guy.
Forever After is recently added. Why is it expiring in 3 days?
Oh,
Do the roar. That's all I hear.
There's a
Do the
guy that
roar.
survived the Titanic by getting super drunk and not succumbing to hypothermia because of that.
That's so fair. I'd
Like,
probably
he
do the
saved a
same
ton of
thing.
people, got super drunk, and managed to survive. And he was one of the chefs.
I
oh
wish.
wow.
That's like that is such a real thing to do, though. What the heck am I looking at? Most popular Freebirds? Yes, because I want to watch turkeys try to kill humans. They have
On
Astro Boy.
Thanksgiving.
Guys, they have Astro Boy. Oh my god, my childhood coming back to me. Oh, there's a My Little Pony, My Little Pony. Oh, they also have Caillou, I guess. They have the bitch of a kid.
Oh
Anyways.
gosh. Okay,
They got the original Clifford.
what are your hands like, by the way? And your tail?
The paws.
Well, that's a very good question.
Yeah, because I know some raccoons, like, they have different, like, they have different looks to them as well.
Like, the tail is definitely ringed.
Right, right. Also, Assembly, you are the 60th member in my Discord.
What number am
It's a
I?
specific
What number am I?
I
Yeah,
have no
literally. That
clue.
is such a specific number.
I have no clue. I don't know what number you were. You're probably, like, number, like, 12 or something.
Damn.
Am I?
You're dead.
Ants. Let me look at this and thingy.
Jack and the Cuckoo Clock Heart. That's such a good movie. But then you realize the implications of some of the songs, and you're like, oh. Santa Stole Our Dog is crazy. That's a crazy movie name. Santa stole our dog.
I was envisioning like the tail being kind of shaped like in Ant's abdomen.
Oh, Ferngully!
But I don't think you can really translate to that worm.
Wait, what?
I was envisioning the tail being shaped like an ant's abdomen.
No,
so, like,
not the corgi.
They'll point.
You want to know something, Ants? You know on PlayStation, back when PlayStation used to buy movies?
No?
Yeah, you used to be able to buy movies on PlayStation. Or, like, rent them out. I bought a single movie. You still keep the movie, by the way, even though they ended it. You could still keep the movie. I bought a movie, and the movie's called The Queen's Corgi, and then I watched it, and I'm like, I shouldn't have bought it, and I can't even get a
Donald
refund.
Trump is in that fucking movie.
I know he is, but I watched it for the dogs. I literally just watched it for the corgis.
So wait, kind of like this?
But I bought that movie back in like 2021 or something.
Like,
right before they got rid of it.
A little bit. Okay.
Like a little bit pointy at the end, because ants' abdomens are a little pointy at the end.
Yeah.
Furry friends? Oh my god, guys, I can be a furry.
So like that.
Wait. Yeah.
Okay. Would it have like
And
the raccoon like patternings on their tails, like how they do?
Yeah, like the rings.
Okay, let me
The
look
Very
at...
Hungry Caterpillar.
Holy cow!
That came out in 1993. Goddamn.
And like the arms would probably be kind of light, while the paws are dark.
Oh my god, that's the show I used to grow on.
Which one?
Care Bears Welcome to Care-a-Lot, made in 2016.
What is Care Bear collab?
Carrie collab is crazy. Oh, the Pound Puppies made in 2013.
Oh,
There's nothing crazier than you being literally Shadow Milk Cookie right now.
wait, if
I have
they
no idea what you're talking
have
about.
wait, if they have the Pound Puppies, do they have the original My Little Pony
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
on
Wait,
Tubi?
wait, wait, like the one made. Wait, like made
Or not
in
the original, but like
the.
the one that
Yeah,
was on the
yeah, yeah,
like the new
yeah,
not the newest one.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yo.
They have it. Oh, and they also have the movies and Equestria Girls plus the movies there too.
Oh my gosh. Y'all, I'm gonna rewatch the entirety of My Little Pony.
Dude, that's so real. That's so real. Dude, I was on freaking Netflix. I'm like, why don't they have all 9 seasons of My Little Pony? They don't even have all of them. I think they have like 4 or 5, and that's kind of annoying. Because I haven't seen the. Oh my god, they have Leo the Lion. Fuck's sake. Where the lion fricks an elephant.
My Sona is slowly being built
What?
via free commissions.
I'm not lying. I'm not lying. If you go to Saber Sparks, he reviewed the movie, and apparently Leo fricks an elephant because they fell in love, and voila, they had children.
What?
Yeah, that's
Who is
Leo the
Leo
Lion.
again?
Leo the Lion is a vegetarian, and he's that very potent.
That's
And I want to kick his
not
ass.
possible.
It's really not. I find that so
They're
funny.
they're obligate carnivores.
There's even a song about him being like, "I'm a vegetarian." It's so funny.
Oh my gosh.
I never watched the movie. I just saw a review
Yo,
by
I'm in
Saber
Rara
Spark.
with the bits. The bits. The bits.
The
The
bitty.
bits. Thank you
It's
for
the
the
bits.
bits.
It's the bits. Why does that look like a
The
ripoff of
bits.
Sun Cone?
The
But it's
bits.
not.
The bits. The bits.
The Munchies. I wish I was lying. That's what it says. It was made in 1983.
Is the one where like that like the white lion or whatever was still on there?
Kimba? Kimba? I love Kimba the
It's
White
like
Lion. Let me see if they
it's like
have
the
it.
older, I think it was like an 80s movie.
Yeah,
Woo.
it's not a movie, it's a show. Kimba.
Well,
the
there was a
White
movie that I
Lion.
It was
saw.
before the Lion King.
Why do they have
Yeah.
Simba? They have Simba. They don't have Kimba.
Oh.
No, lions and
They have
cats
Oswald.
are obligate carnivores, while dogs are facultative carnivores.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't have Kimba. That's kind of sad because I used to have Kimba, the White Lion, but me being a stupid child as I was, kind of lost most of the DVDs, and one of
Elma,
them's disgusting.
you should dual Salem right now.
Why?
Test your luck.
Why?
Because Elma said new record 30 minutes without being timed up by Stinky Salami.
Oh, I can tell them
So
right
they
now,
should
actually.
test their luck
Oh my
and
gosh.
duel you.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Oh
okay, I
my
guess we're doing
gosh.
this. I don't care about Baby Shark. Leave me alone. I'm trying to freaking battle Elma.
And
They have the Smurfs 1 and 2, by the way.
Sid,
Oh,
why don't you have a
and the
bot
Lost
say your
Village.
messages? Because it's
What?
coming directly from your account.
There's not a way I can have a bot on stream avatars. Like I haven't found a way.
No, like, why don't you have a bot say the things? Because the most recent message is you saying.
Yeah, I don't think there's a way.
Ah, Astro. I love
Can
Astro
you not
Boy.
make stream elements say it?
No, cuz that's from stream avatars.
Oh. Death. So, are you gonna ban Elma for winning, or are you gonna be fair?
Don't ban Elma. Don't do it. Also,
It's only for 20 seconds.
I watched a death in real time.
okay,
They rigged the game. That's all I'm saying. They rigged the game.
okay. How do you like that tail? I made it a little bit fluffy at the like middle intersection. Skill issue.
You're a skill issue.
Ants.
Oh my god, they have Frosty the Snowman. Guys, I can watch Frosty the That's not even the original Frosty the Snowman. Get that 2018 crap out of here. Get that trash out of here. Come back to me when you have the best Frosty the Snowman movie.
Bro literally like went the exact like exactly went like Numinos, get that shit out of here. And so how do you like the
Numinos?
how do you like the tail?
Numinos?
How do you like
Fuck.
the tail?
It's Dorbs.
Orb.
They have Lego? Does that mean they have Lego Monkey Kid? Damn it, one can dream. They have Lego of Chima though. Oh, one can dream. Actually, I could watch Lego of Chima. I don't mind. It's not bad. The fact it was on Disney
Miss
though, which is a little
Chima.
concerning. I love Lego Chima. Guys, I could watch Equestria Girls.
Get up.
I can watch
Do they have the
Get
newer
Down
ones?
if you.
Or do they just have like the first two?
They have Equestria Girls, which is the first one. Rainbow Rocks, Friendship Games, and Everfree. Oh,
Because
and
I don't
Forgotten
think
Friendship.
I don't think I've seen the friendship games or Everfree.
And they have Sunset's Backstage Pass, Forgotten Friendship, Everfree, Legend of Everfree, Friendship Games, the first one, and Rainbow Rocks.
Start streaming it to sit as they draw. Like
I
so
can't do
don't
that from
put it up in
PlayStation,
cover
dog.
lava.
I can't do that from PlayStation. You forget, PlayStation can't stream shit. Oh my god, guys, it's the Pinocchio movie, a true story. Yes, it's the one with Garflin. It's the one with Garflin. I'm gonna watch
I'm fucking sorry.
Garflin.
Is the tagline a true story?
Yeah, it's literally called Pinocchio, a true story. Father, when can I leave to be on my
True
own?
story.
Wait, what the hell? Wait, what the hell is Garflin doing?
Garflin's voice acting in a
Didn't
movie.
you hear Garflin's in Pinocchio?
Yeah, Garflin's in Pinocchio,
But
a true story, made by a
father,
Russian company.
where's
Made by a
my
Russian company.
I remember people
where's
compare
my oh,
Huggy
there it is.
to being the straight Garflin, and then Huggy said they sound like the straight me.
That's crazy.
Fa!
Father, when can I leave on my own? I have the whole world to see. Yes,
Hello,
Tibbles,
Kimiko.
I have a most special definite dream.
I'm getting drawn, Kimi.
It's just me.
It's just me.
Hi, Tibble. Why is Tibbles the one that introduces me? I want to hear Pinocchio. I want to hear Garfield.
I'm a little past
All it
confused.
takes
You've
to
only
get
been
drawn
here
is
for
a healthy
seconds.
dose of murder.
So
Kimiko's confused and it's just me.
So Salem right now is watching Pinocchio. I'm
A true
Did you
story.
actually start watching it?
Yeah, I did. I'm watching it right now, dog. Have you ever seen a nose grow right in front of you? It's crazy, Tibbles. Oh my god. I like how they have the clopping noises of the horse. It's not poorly animated, gang. That's crazy. I gotta hear Garflin. I gotta
let
hear
me find your
Garflin
rock
go.
real
It's
quick.
just me.
Am
I still in there? Do I
I
have to
just
type?
gave you a whole bunch of stars. This is your little rock, by the way. You can change it in the little stream avatars tab.
It's already 6-eared.
That's crazy.
Whee! You have been shot up into orbit as well. Just the mandatory, you know, shooting up into orbit.
That's crazy, thinking of a wooden doll as your son, Geppetto. But you know what? Fair enough.
It's my
If you're lonely, you might as well. It's my son. He's sitting at the table that I forced him to sit at. Hello? They did not just reference Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Bro.
What?
Yeah, they go,
Holy
or a
shit,
selfish turtle, or
15.
a turtle who only he likes
Bomb
pizza. And I'm
them.
like, hello? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles did not exist back in their age, dog. Ain't no way.
I'm gonna be honest, I have no clue why the currency isn't working, but it isn't working.
It's okay, I got you.
Don't you dare do Mass Explode. Do not do it.
Um,
No! No! You've killed everybody!
Elma loves being exploded.
yeah, see, they're having fun with it.
You asshole. Now I gotta find Suki and
You,
Ko-Fi Bot again.
you,
There's
Sonic.
Ko-Fi Bot and there's Suki. That's not Suki, that's Stream Elements. There y'all go. I don't like it.
Sahama has amazing emotes, not gonna lie.
So who?
Sahama. Super Sahama.
Damn, are Suki and Ko-Fi Bot married or something? Damn.
Basically.
The defense, the defending
I
is
can't believe
crazy.
Suki married a clanker. It's like that guy that married Hatsune Miku.
Oh my god, that's so real.
Oh my gosh.
Well, Elma is battling Suki.
You can't duel Suki when you're not in the same area.
Coward.
Nah. Suki is not a coward. Suki is smart. For anyone else in any other situation, I
Wow.
would say they're a coward, though.
Sid, get Suki out of the box so Elma can fight him.
Suki doesn't want to fight.
Too
He's
bad.
a
I'm gonna.
pacifist.
Too bad. I don't care. I want to see chaos in this chat.
That's a lot of emotes.
Oh my god.
I need to make.
I used to have those.
I need to make more. I really need to make more emotes, especially animated emotes.
I can't do animated emotes. My stupid drawing app doesn't allow it.
Ibis,
Yeah.
you can animate
Because it
an
leaves the
Ibis.
watermark. Yeah, I know, but it leaves the watermark. I don't want that.
Just crop it out.
I can't. It takes up a big chunk of the screen.
Or if anything, you can go by like frame by frame, and then probably put it into like I think there's websites that like turn static images.
Yeah. To
Like,
me,
you just
for me though,
make it
they
frames.
also leave the watermark. They also leave the watermark for me. And I'm like, ugh. So I
What?
just gave up.
If you just download each
Yeah.
frame individually,
Yeah, and
like
then
you
I
don't
turn
do
into
it the
like...
animated, you don't do it like the animation way. You just do it like the like you do one
why is he
frame and then you add a
laughing?
frame and then you add a frame and then you download those frames individually.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Or you can animate in Krita. It's easy.
I'm a boy, I'm alive. Crashing and everything.
Yeah, manually
Raffle,
splice
this
it
is
together on
phenomenal.
film
Wait,
as
I
well.
have to leave for a second because I gotta call Walgreens.
You gotta call
Oof.
Walgreens? Oof.
Yeah.
Pinocchio, I think you killed your father, dog.
But father,
When can I leave to be
when
on
can I
my
leave to
own?
be on my own?
I have the whole world to see. Yes, Tibbles, I have a most special, wondrous dream. It's just me.
It's gonna be me.
Imagine if Pinocchio
Every
said that in the
so
movie.
often, that song plays at my workplace.
That's
And
funny.
so
But yeah.
all you'll hear is it's gonna be me.
Should I send you a... Oh my god. It's from the trailer. It's from the trailer. Father, when can I leave to be on my
Soup
own?
is currently challenging El Macaco to a duel. will El Macaco
Crazy.
break their winning streak?
If Elmo wins, I'm timing him out again.
No.
For cheating. For cheating, by the way.
They're not cheating.
Yeah, I can't hurt myself. I told me I was made out of high quality material is crazy. That's literally what Pinocchio said. Father, you said I couldn't get hurt. You told me I was made out of high quality material. Dog, what is this movie?
Bro's just
What is this
reviewing movies
movie?
now, and it's
What is this movie? Garflin, you didn't tell me you were a voice actor. Hi, Geppetto.
too weird to love, too scared to die, too alien to take you home. Horrified by the sight of my reflection in your eyes. I don't belong there. I like that the fact that I'm also shading this, even though I'm literally just shading this as well, like on top of like actually doing this. But I'm also kind of testing out new ways of shading. Oh, Ants is on hold.
Rip.
Imagine being on hold. Wow. Who wanna be home to anyone? What do people even do? So if you love me, let me let you go, my love. So I can be known. And you were there, and you were there, and you were there, cause you could change. He thinks it makes it special, but it makes you strange. You could change. He thinks it makes it special are the same that make you strong.
Oh my god, he sang the line! He sang the line! He sang the line!
Oh my gosh. He
Hold
sang
on,
the
I gotta
line.
rewind
He
30
just said the
seconds.
line.
He sang the he was saying the line. He was
He
saying
said
the
the
line.
line. Oh my gosh.
Hold on. I gotta get back to it. I gotta get back to it.
But father, when can I leave to be on
He
my
was.
own?
How did you know it was that one?
Because that's literally what we've been all saying.
Yeah, it was literally just that one. Okay, Dad, don't worry. Even if they find me, I can always pretend I'm a tree stump. Father, tell me, when can I leave to be on my own? I've got the whole world to see. Such.
Okay, we have done. We have not. We have not. Wait, hold up.
Too young and too gullible. Damn, really calling yourself that? That's crazy.
Dang. Wow. Yep, and
That's insane that Geppetto said that to Pinocchio.
oh yikes! Your sub expires on the 30th. Oh no.
Rip.
Oh no. Did you know that if you get Twitch Prime? Okay, yeah, that doesn't work. I'm gonna leave it at that size. Okay, honestly, the worms are getting a lot better. The worms are becoming higher quality now. The worms are becoming higher
This movie is
quality.
so bad. This stupid movie. I want to leave it right now, but I'm watching it just because of Garflin's in it. I'm only watching it because Garflin's voice acting it. I can't leave it.
This is my 14th worm. I've done so many worms. The rocks. There's also a couple more hats now, by the way. There's a couple more hats. There's six-eared, there's skimble shanks, and there's also, oh wait, there's four. There's also a cheese hat, and there's also a everything bagel hat. Yeah, there's the ants worm, meaning we could probably go to our second raffle. Woo! Meaning everybody who is battling, that means lurkers, everybody, make sure that your rock is here. That's Skimbleshanks, it's a cat. They're cat. Meow meow.
Yes, Tibble, I have a special most treasure dream. That was literally he said the other line. He said the other line.
It's one scene. Okay, so we have Cosmic, we have Suki, we have Almakako, we have Ants does not qualify again. Get out. Wait, no. You go in orbit. We have Salem. We have the soup store. We have Stone. Almakako. We have Kimiko. BBB.
Nah, they called
You
the
were calling
wrong.
the wrong Walgreens. Oh no. Oh no. But yeah, if you don't see your rock here, that means that you have like kind of timed your rock out, so you need to say another message. Raffle. It's a raffle. We're doing a raffle. Wait, did I even tell the... Did I even put... Hi, Silvel. You are the first one that actually naturally spawned in with a cheese. You have a cheese on your head. And you're also bright green. Whee! You're also in orbit now. Okay, I forgot to do a thing. Let me quickly do that thing real quick before you want to opt out. Fine. If you win, we'll just restart. We'll redo. Until like another person wins, then man, you don't want free art.
My name is Pinocchio. It's just me. That's what he said. He goes, "My name is Pinocchio." And I found that so
It's
funny.
just me.
It's just me.
It's gonna be me. I can't believe I forgot to promote. I completely
A wooden boy
forgot
so the
to
cat
promote.
shoots him.
Hold up. I forgot to promote anywhere. There is no promotion at all. There was nothing.
Yeah, we all showed up anyway.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you guys for showing up. Y'all are awesome. Who wants to start? Oh, you jumped at the perfect time. But yeah, if you guys haven't if you guys don't see your rock, you guys can also customize it. So if you want like a different rock, you guys all you have to do is go to stream avatars and you can pick your like the color. Hi Triker. Hello. You can pick your color and you can also pick like what hat you have. So we're gonna wait a little bit to see like who else is gonna probably like who might join in. Cause yes. But right now we have Kimiko, Triker, you go in orbit because that's me. Silvolp, Stone, El Macaco, you don't count.
Oh, wait, here, bud.
BBB, Ants already just won it, and Salem. This is one of the options. Also, yeah, I did that last night. So this is the worm option, and then this is the ornament option. So this is like what you get to choose. The ornament isn't like I haven't finished my little ornament. This is like done at like 3 in the morning, but it's like it's a test one because Christmas is Christmas like 4 weeks away. Can you believe it? But yeah, you guys can basically get your rocks in. And we're gonna do a battle royale. So just make sure your rock is there so you guys are here. I like how there's 1 shark, 3 skimbleshanks. Oh no, there's 2 sharks. Stone's a shark. 2 6-ears, three dragons. 1 googly eye, 1 cheese. But yeah. Let's see, is anybody else going to join in? I don't think so. So I think it's time to start the battle royale. Battle royale in 3, 2, 1. Okay, we got Triker, Stone, Ants doesn't count, Stream Elements doesn't count, Silva, Obsidian doesn't count, Kimiko, Suki, Ko-Fi doesn't count, Bibibi, and Salem. If Ants wins again, I'm gonna cry. Yeah, Ko-Fi. Oh. I think it might. Okay, yeah, we're gonna have to do another one anyway, so there is gonna be another one. There is gonna be another one. There's gonna be another one, because I don't count, obviously. Thank you, Ko-Fi Bot! And Ants literally just won. Ants literally just won again. Ants literally just won again. Ants, you cheat. I like how everybody's just grouped up. Okay, let's try this again. Battle Royale. Whoa. Oh my gosh. Okay, we got everybody here again. I don't think there's a way you can rig it. I don't think there even is a way you can rig it. It looks like Silva might have just gotten a, there's not really an option to join. It's just if your rock's there. Your rock's, you're right here in this corner. Oh, you just died. Oh no. Yeah, you can't rig it. Okay, it looks like it's between Salem, BBB, Silva, and Suki. Oh, Silva just died. Oh, Salem just no, not Salem. Oh, it's Salem and Suki. Uh-oh. 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 Suki has won. Suki has won. Suki, if you want to send me your reference, your character reference, you can. Suki has won. And also let me know if you want a worm or a let me know if you want a worm or an ornament. They aren't, but I think I might honestly add them on. Like as a little like what, $3 thing? Cause they're technically like art raffles, but there's a lot of rocks down here. Ko-Fi, you go there. That's not Suki.
I'm back. I'm back.
Dude, Ants won a second time, and then
Yeah, I know. I saw it, and I was like, "Can I time him out for cheating?" I ban everyone that was in winning, and then I automatically win.
No, that's gonna make so many people lose their watch streak.
Nah, it's fine. Do I want to watch Coraline or do I want to watch Astro Boy?
Hmm.
You know what? I'll have chat. I'll do a poll. I'll have
You're
chat
gonna
it
do
for
a
me.
poll?
Yeah.
Probably like what, $3 or something?
Guys, how do I go to mod view again? Never mind, I got it. Is this a prediction? Is this one prediction? 'Cause I
Did
don't
you do
want
a prediction?
I didn't make a prediction. I'm asking myself if it is a prediction, dog. Yeah, that's a prediction. What's this one then? Where?
I am waiting for Suki to send the reference.
Oh, there it is. Found it.
Give me a minute. I'm waiting. I've given you like 5 minutes.
My mother doesn't have
Balls.
buttons.
Also, chat keeps on wanting to eat my hair.
I
Hi,
hate
Ants.
pharmacies.
Ants, you literally like. So I finished yours, and then you won the you won the battle royale again. So I had to do it
Can I
again.
donate it to Salem?
Well,
What?
Suki just won. Suki just won it.
Damn it.
Yeah.
I'm a god. That's all I can say. I'm a
But put it
god.
on for 3 minutes. 3
Oh
minutes
shit!
of a
Did you
poll
actually?
gang.
Did you actually? Are you actually getting an ornament, Striker? Oh hell yeah!
Let's go.
Thank
made a
you.
poll.
You misspelled Astro. How do you misspell
Astio
God.
boy. Astio boy.
Astio boy.
Astio boy.
Listen. I was rushing
see
it.
that
Don't
man
rush
every
me.
day. You
Don't
play
rush
every
me. Don't rush me, Katie.
Fuck you mean no planker movie?
No planker movie. It's crazy.
It looks like everybody's wanting you to watch Coraline.
Coraline's a good movie.
Coraline's
Like,
good. Have you seen it before? Have you
Yeah.
seen? If you've seen both, go watch a movie you haven't seen.
no. I want to watch Astro Boy or
We
really good
hate
movies.
clinkers. Oh my
That's
gosh.
crazy, Elma.
That's crazy.
I'm eating pizza.
Ooh, what kind?
Black olive.
Ooh.
Surprised
my
they're
mom-
not
my
getting
mom-
Bagel to buy it for you.
My mom made it by hand, like yesterday. So
Ooh. Crazy. I
It
was
was our-
crazy once.
it was our
They put me in a
Thanksgiving
room.
dinner.
Did
In
something
a room.
redeem it?
No. Oh my god, I was just saying it. They went crazy.
Yeah, I can
Where's
redeem
the
it though.
poll? It's I think if you swipe, like, because at the very top it says my commissions are open usually, but if you swipe, it should say what should say on Cat Watch.
I spelled Astro Boy wrong, so that's on me. I accidentally put an E instead of an R.
Astro
The E and R button,
Boy.
Astio
the E-
boy.
the E and R button are like right next to each other. You can't blame me for that. Okay.
Astio boy.
So you do know how to spell it, and it was just a typo. I see.
Yeah, it's always a typo with half the time. It's insane.
I do that.
If y'all hear audio from my game through my tell me.
Okay.
Also, why would I
Oh,
have
you're
Bagel
looking in
buy my
Discord.
food?
In the ball and it ain't
Ah.
Saint Nick.
Her name is Gertrude and she's got a long.
Split.
Are you fucking kidding?
Damn.
Ho, 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 Merry Christmas from the pole.
Alright, well, I guess I'm watching
hope the pumpkin
Coraline.
snows. It looks like you are gonna watch Coraline.
Bet. Bet your butt cheeks I am.
You know, I was gonna vote for Astro Boy, and then I just wanted to vote for the winning team, so I didn't.
Leave it at a time, then I have to redo it.
Suki, are you still grabbing it?
Kat, you ain't having my pizza. This is my pizza.
Damn.
My pizza.
You're fixing it. Oh gosh.
We should do another battle royale just for fun. While we
Okay,
wait.
okay. We'll have a for
David!
fun. What?
Keith David played in this movie?
What?
Hello?
Who
What?
did he play?
Who did he play? Did he play as Mr. Bobinski? Bobinski?
Keith David
Who
is
did he
not
play?
Russian.
Who did he play? No? I don't know Keith David. I've seen this movie so many
he
times.
voiced the cat. He voiced the cat.
Oh,
the
my
cat.
god. Of course he did. Of course he did. Of course he did.
Okay, we're just this battle
I
royale is just gonna be for
remember.
fun. This battle royale is
Guys,
gonna
I'm
be for
tweaking
fun.
out. I'm tweaking out over that. That's
I'm gonna win
insane.
again.
Guys, that is so insane. I guess I didn't know that Keith David played in it until now.
We have 4,
He's
8,
everywhere.
12. We have 13 people playing this battle royale.
Am I
That's
still in it?
wild. You should be. It looks like. Yeah, you're in it. You're in it.
Okay, cool.
I got a health pack.
Nice. I can't believe I didn't know Keith David played in this movie.
Oh, I'm seeing people dying left and right.
been
Holy
exploded.
cow.
I
There
think I
goes
might have
Chiker and
died.
Silvolt. Stream Elements,
I should go
Stone,
back
El
into the
Macaco,
VOD to
and
watch how
Ko-Fi
y'all reacted to
Streambot.
me winning again.
Ko-Fi just got a health pack. Is Ko-Fi gonna
That's
I
win?
think
cheating.
Ko-Fi's gonna
That's
win.
cheating. That's cheating.
Is Ko-Fi gonna
know.
win? Oh,
I'm
oh,
banning
oh,
Ko-Fi
oh.
bot.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. No!
going
Well,
to.
El Macaco won this one.
Hell yeah. As Elma should.
El Macaco won.
Who won the other one?
Yippee.
Who won the other one not for fun?
Suki.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm waiting on Suki to send the ref.
God, this movie is so good, guys. You should totally watch it if you've never seen Coraline.
I'm playing Ghost of Yote.
Do y'all want to
I
do
said if you've
another
never
battle
seen
royale?
Coraline. Yeah, do
Oh.
it.
I've seen Coraline.
I know, I'm saying if you've never seen it, you should watch it. It's a good
We're
movie.
gonna do another battle royale.
You're addicted.
Addicted to what?
Nah. Mr. Bobinski.
I like how we've just started to do the battle royales while waiting.
I got an ad, dog.
You got an ad? Oh no.
Yeah, I think we're all in ads.
Oh no. Yeah, it says ad
Not
break ends in
me.
34.
I got a
I think
sub.
Ants just died. I think Ko-Fi just
Elf.
I'm
died.
always dying. What do you
Uh-oh.
mean?
Uh-oh. I think, oh my gosh. It's like, it's literally a massacre. Holy shit.
Did I die?
Yeah, it's,
Hell yeah.
Sandstone Gazer, me, and El Macaco. I've died.
Is
It's
Elma gonna win
Sandstone
again?
Gazer and Elma. Zan just got a health pack. Elma just exploded.
Mm.
Well, Sandstone Gazer has won the other one for fun. Top 3.
I'm writing the names of my enemies before I kill them in this game.
That's so
In-
real.
In what game? In which game?
Ghost of Yote.
Oh. I found out a way you can get them stuck. And it's honestly pretty fun.
Like how Ko-Fi Bot got stuck yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You Ko-Fi Bot! Hey, you know, Ko-Fi Bot's there for a reason. You could totally get a commission.
Triker has ordered a worm, or not a worm, ornament. I can literally get everybody stuck in here.
I can't believe you would do this. You are cruel.
Everybody is stuck now. Everybody is stuck. Now I wonder if I start putting stars in here, who would get them? Oh.
It's a lot of people.
It's a lot of people. Oh gosh. Oh, of course, Salem had to ruin the fun by mass exploding everybody.
Yup. I didn't want to be stuck.
Take away Salem's privileges. I was about to say something offensive, but I held my tongue.
How dare you?
Actually, I can make it less offensive. 1984 Salem.
Hello?
Yeah. Yeah, Almacaco. Balls.
All these nuts.
Suki, do you have it yet?
Did you go
Suki,
to the
fix it
Aldi today?
faster. Fix it faster. We're moving on. I'm joking.
Oh,
Almost.
I just
With a
realized
question
Suki
mark?
won the.
Yes, we're waiting on Suki. We're waiting on
No,
Suki.
no, Suki won the battle royale, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
Suki is
Yeah.
a pacifist with emphasis on fist.
Literally.
Almacaco says it looks like I'm trying to get in the box.
I'm being shunned by the people.
Almacaco's like just stuck.
No, I will not abide by this. People are hitting this horse.
That's insane.
I'm going to murder
Oh,
them
you
now.
just exploded Almacaco.
Yeah, I freed him.
You know what
Clearly,
I
I'm
can
the
also
hero
do?
here, dog.
You know what I can also do?
Unmob
Top
me.
10
my horse?
cave diving accidents.
Hello?
This is basically what happened. That's basically what happened. top 10 cave diving accidents. it's just
Cave
this.
divers when they have a job paying
No, my
six
blood
figures
flow.
and and a family,
Okay,
a
okay.
loving wife and family, and they discover a cave called the
Oh
Devil's
gosh.
Taint.
Yeah, basically. Honestly, why do people do that?
Because they gotta tickle the taint.
Oh my
Hello?
gosh. And it happened in Satan's asshole. The literal name of the cave. Okay.
I keep getting
Alright.
stabbed by these guys.
Okay, we are.
Wasn't there also a person that got stuck in Nutty Putty and then died in there because I couldn't save the person?
I think so. I think so.
Yeah, so the Nutty Putty got closed off for good because of it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill the man that stabbed me.
Real.
Hello?
With this,
Permission to be
that's
thrown
torch. I
into
thought it was a fire
oblivion.
poker.
Okay, Almacaco. You ready? You ready? You've been thrown into oblivion. Okay.
I'm way too old for dolls. It's so real. As I said, as Raggedy Ann and Raggedy
I am
Andy
going
at my
to-
bed.
Oh, I want a Raggedy Ann doll so badly.
I have one. I'm so happy. My mom got it for me for either Christmas or my birthday.
Oh.
Yeah, and it came with Raggedy
Gang, I
Andy.
might die.
Why?
I'm surrounded by like 8 guys.
Don't let them touch you.
The little calico.
Do I not have perfect parry available yet?
That is such a horrible dad move. To just let me work. It's crazy.
Where are you? Let's check. You are right here. Oh, that's not you. You seem to have a twin.
I
You seem
love
to
the
have a
end
twin.
suffering button. Wait, I didn't see Suki's.
What?
I didn't see Suki's reference.
Oh, they sent it to me in DMs. This is the reference though. Do you want me to send it to y'all?
No,
Oh.
I'm busy watching Coraline.
I just wanted to get a Ganda.
Boop. Boop. Boop.
Oh, I see.
You see?
Um, I was a swordsmith's daughter, and then they slaughtered my entire family.
Oh.
Is this spoilers? I feel like I'm subjecting people to spoilers of Ghost of Yote. I'll stop talking. Ah, I love the dedicated sake button.
God, I love stop motion. I love this movie so much.
You mean claymation?
Stop motion is
No,
and claymation are really good,
Coraline was
bro.
puppets.
Didn't Coraline use?
Coraline was not claymation.
Yeah.
Shit. I was like wondering why my layer disappeared. No, it's because I literally like pressed Control X instead of Control Z.
This bitch headbutted me.
The fucking whining is so good. It gets me every time.
Okay.
This bitch threw sand in my eyes. This bitch has
We made a deal. Zip it.
She temporarily blinded me. Fuck you mean temporarily, bitch? You blind forever.
The fuck you mean you have a gun? Fuck. He got me. I'm not dead yet, but
Probably shouldn't do that specific item in brown.
can I shoot this man? I'd love to shoot this man with his own gun. I'm not a very good warrior.
That's so real.
I've been stabbed in the stomach. I did kill him, and he is now on. He is now lying dead on me, but I got stabbed in the stomach.
Oh damn.
That's crazy.
I've avenged 1/6 of my father. Oh, I passed out with him on top of me.
Damn.
He is a dead corpse though, and one of the people that killed me.
Oh damn.
His blood is in my eyes.
Hey Suki, what color are their eyes, by the way?
Why don't you keep him closed?
Well,
Because
worms
it's like
have
a worm on a string.
worms on strings have eyes. They just stare. They don't have the ability to close their eyes.
You ain't telling me you never modified a worm on a string before?
Nope.
By
I never
ripping
even
Pure
out
done that,
the
black?
actually.
eyes?
I totally haven't modified a worm on a string. Totally haven't. You know,
By
totally
ripping out the
haven't
eyes?
added legs to them. I totally haven't added legs to the worms. No, 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 no.
I'm a badass weakling.
You're not my mom. To have.
Daddy? Sorry, daddy? Sorry,
buttons.
daddy.
Hello?
Mommy? Sorry. Mommy? Sorry. Mommy? Sorry. Mommy? Sorry. Mommy? Sorry. Mommy? Sorry.
No need to apologize.
I'll be right back.
Sounds like they just beat the shit out of us when they were going.
What?
Did you not hear like the like smack to the microphone?
No.
Dude, they literally like smacked the microphone.
Damn.
They punched us in the face and left. Yes, they literally beat the shit out of us and then they left.
Where did my blood go?
I didn't do anything to your blood. What's blood?
I was referring to the game, but I did ironically have my blood drawn today.
I honestly, I hated the last time I got my blood drawn.
I didn't get a bruise. Did you get a bruise?
I got a bruise and like they literally when they were pulling the thingy out, they nicked my skin and that like dude, what the fuck?
Ugh. No. I have a fear of needle. I have a fucking spyglass.
Okay. So that means I need to erase these. These. And then a part of this. Okay, there we go. There's the hair. Salem just said I'll do it again. Hello?
Why do deer hop?
Because they go hop, 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 hop.
Incorrect.
I'm gonna
Are you
start
praying?
sobbing. Gonna start sobbing.
You are weak-willed.
Stone's like, how dare.
Your name is Stone, yet your heart is not.
Oh, they used a more like orangey red.
This is the tree where I was stabbed.
Imagine.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Hey,
I got a soda.
Nice.
soda!
What kind? What kind? Can I have some?
Dr. Thunder. I got the off-brand.
Never mind.
Not even Mr. Pibb?
Soda.
Soda!
My little soda pop.
You're all I can think of.
Think of every drop I drink
You're
of.
my soda pop, my little soda pop.
I'm
Wait.
done
You're my little
hiding
soda
now.
pop.
I'm shining like I'm born to be. No one continued? Really?
Like I'm born to be. I don't know where that. I don't know
Not
that
you
song.
exploding stone. Not you exploding stone.
You're my little soda pop. Explodes them. No regret, by the way.
Damn.
I feel nothing.
Damn.
Wait, they're free. Put them back. Put them back. Put them back.
No, you decided to explode them.
I'll keep doing it.
I got a comment on one of my videos. I wonder if it's going to be another person calling me Sin. Let's see. Make a poll, make a poll, make a poll.
Why do
Or
I
like
gotta
make a
do it? Why
prediction,
can't
make
you
a
do it?
prediction. Cause you gotta make a
Fine,
prediction.
give me a minute. I'm working on it. What do I call it? What do I call it? What is it?
Is
I'm tempted to
TikTok
leave so I can
comment
enjoy the game in its perfect glory.
is TikTok
Okay.
comment calling me Sin?
Give me a minute.
I'll be back maybe later.
How long do I make the submission?
Probably like 30 seconds. Or a minute, a minute.
I'll do a minute.
See you, gamers.
See ya.
Okay, there you go.
Okay.
Do send me the worm, please.
I will, I will,
Oh,
I
why
will.
am I the beast? Why am I the beast?
Thank you.
Why am I the beast? I just joined this
Predict.
goddamn game.
Put in your you misspelled Sin.
No, I didn't.
It's Sin, like CYN.
Oh. I thought you meant SIN. You never specified, dog.
Cause so
So
many
that's not
people
even
on
on me.
TikTok thinks I'm Sin.
Who's this Sin anyways?
From Murder Drones.
Uh-huh.
Everybody's
Me,
voting
okay.
yes. What? Okay, is the prediction closed? I think it is. Let's go check. Ooh, 10 10 stream streak. Okay, let's see. The comment is it's a photo. It's Louis deflating. So the answer is no.
What is this map? Where am I? I'm playing Flee the Facility. I don't know where I am.
Yeah, you lost your streak, ants. It's a Louis deflating photo.
Damn it, I found one person, but then I lost them because they were running away.
Oh,
Oh, sigh.
sigh.
They have 4 computers to do. Have they not found a single one?
Hydrate? Okay, I'll hydrate. I
Hydrate or
have,
dihydrate, dog?
yeah, hydrate or dihydrate. I have the, I have the,
Where am I?
I have the swig, the shark attack. But for a 48, like for a 44 ounce, why did it only come with 4 tiny little gummy sharks? Like I was expecting there to be a lot more.
Dog, I can't find anyone. What the fuck?
Oh, I've been challenged to the duel.
You wanna do it?
Yeah. Where's my thing? There it is.
I knew I should have picked Seek or Seeker. But no, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to be a different little snowflake. Thank you!
Bless you.
Thank you.
Whoa, Backslord? Box. Backslord has
Boxy!
won the
It's
duel.
Boxy!
Nobody's ever told her she's wrong. A pyre of space talk and jazz. I'm as alive as her beard is long. I'll see you on the moon, where we're throwing a party. And as you're gasping for the last of air, you'll tra-la-la-la-la.
You're a
Twirling the moon
bitch!
dust.
Not you. Sid, you know I wouldn't call you that. I do it in a joke to you, actually.
You're called a bitch.
I call this guy that closed the door on my face a bitch.
Damn.
No regrets on that, by the way. Evacuate. I have no idea where the fuck I am, dog. I haven't killed a single person, by the way. Wanna know
Damn.
why I haven't killed a single person, by the way?
Why?
Because I have no idea where anyone. I found the one person I've been chasing almost this whole entire goddamn game. Do I know where other people are? No. Do I know where I am? Also, no.
You're playing Flee the Facility, right?
Yeah, I'm playing in a public lobby.
Ah. Is dude, our ping was literally like spiking up. Is it still doing that?
No, not for me.
Like I literally
At
could not
least.
play that. I literally could not play it.
Yeah, it doesn't work. It's fine for me. I don't know if it'd be fine for you again or not, but you know.
It might not be.
Yeah, I don't know if it's worth trying it out or not. Why aren't these other 2 people leaving? Is it because I suck? Bro, where are these other two people? Why are they on a machine? It says find an exit, dog.
Oh
Dumbass.
my gosh.
I put them in quarantine because I don't think they know what they're doing. It says find an exit. Why aren't they finding the exit? Oh, they got freed. Which means they're near an exit. Yeah, just leave. Just leave. Damn, dumbass. Can the other guy leave now, too?
Damn.
I have zero patience at the moment. I'm not waiting another 5 minutes, dog. At least I know I
Okay.
suck, but can you guys leave the goddamn facility? Like, you know how annoying that is? It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. It's pretty annoying, in my opinion.
Bro's like crashing out, and I'm just sitting here drawing sprinkles.
I'm crushing on your drawing sprinkles. It's because you're gay, Sid. It's okay to be gay, though. It's okay. We all know this. You're okay.
Oh, that was a very short BRB.
Who said BRB?
Stone. When you stream in
Oh.
school hours, sometimes you miss your streak. You're walking. Oh, damn.
I have a 3-day streak.
Welcome back, El Macaco. You mean 3 stream streak?
Yeah, I have a 3-day streak. Where did they go? Oh. Dumbass. Come on.
Salem, El Macaco has news for you.
Yes, Elma. What is this wondrous news that you have for me, Tibbles?
You are free of fleas.
I want to flee from Buggle. I've been waiting.
Sigh, same.
It's okay though. Buggle's still trying to catch up on commissions, which fair enough. Plus, I still have one to do, but at the same time, I kind of want to do commissions.
After all that stinky, even fleas run away.
Oh my god.
Salem's gonna commit a murder.
I'm banning Elma.
No! Oh, you're in a crowd? Alright. Have fun. Don't do it, don't do it, don't actually do it.
Do it, I dare you. It's crazy, Elma.
Don't do it.
I'm busy playing Flee the Facility. You think I'm gonna play it?
You're playing Flee the Facility.
Yeah. Because I have fleas. You fail a skill check and I'm killing you. I don't care if your name is It's Bella. I don't trust you. You fail a skill check and you're dead to me for the rest of your fucking lives, Bella. My bad. It's Bella 31411. You're dead to me.
Damn.
If you even fail a single skill check, you're toast. You're done. You're cooked. I will lead them right to you. Okay, thank you. We're good. Bella didn't fail a skill check, gang. We're okay.
Okay, I think I did the sprinkles pretty good.
on top of this building? Oh, someone got captured. Wasn't me, though.
Mm.
You failed your skill check. You're dead to me. You're dead to me. You're done. You're done. You're cooked. Oh, so this person is just camping the other guy. Okay. So then I'm free to roam around. Oh, wait, no, I think that guy escaped. Also, you'll never guess who failed the skill check.
You.
It's Bella. Oh, the beast left.
Oh. This is positive. Nobody dies.
I'm leaving this
Still
game.
dial 911. Now we're singing. Ooh, could you take a look at me?
No
Am I
noobs,
bad? Am I
Abby.
bad? Am I bad?
What?
Am I really that bad? Ooh, whatever you think of me. If you were in my shoes. Salem's the new Noah.
What?
What?
What does that
He
even
carries
mean?
all the animals in the game. Like Noah's Ark?
Hello?
Yep.
I'm so confused, but okay.
I finally watched a full playthrough of Amanda the Adventurer.
Hell yeah. I don't have keybinds. I guess that works. Oh, you can always change them later. I'm focusing on these two then.
So if you wash your hands after you clean only ones in need of love are those who don't receive enough, so evil one should get a little more. You, could you take a look at me? Am I bad? Am I bad? Am I bad? Am I really that bad? Now we're singing, oh, whatever you think of me. If the shoe fits, so would you walk that mile? You could put it on the other foot, it's the same size. You, well, could you take a look at me? Am I bad? Am I bad? Am I bad? Am I really that bad? And we're singing, oh, 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 whatever you think of me. If you were in my shoes, you don't see I'm the same size as you. Oh, yeah, okay, thanks, Stream Elements. Guess what? No one cares. Oh my gosh. Dang. And remember, the two people in stream are awesome artists. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Omakako. That was sweet.
You're dead to me, El Macaco. I'm joking, by the way.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I could be mean.
Suck salami. Huh?
What does that
It's
mean?
Salem. It's Salem. It's Salem. The second one in Call with Me is Salem.
I'm locking in.
Get joy baited. Ah! And then Salem immediately goes like
I'm locking in. I'm playing
Salem
Megalovania, but on
immediate.
Delta Rhythm.
Oh damn.
First time playing this game, by the way.
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Finally, Salem locking in.
Damn. Okay, you know what? Fine then. I'll lock out. Oh, finger cramp.
Ow.
Uh, finger cramp. That hurt.
You good?
Yeah,
That
it's
that
okay.
sounds painful. You sound like you're in pain.
No, I'm okay. I'm okay.
You sure?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Elmokako
Yeah,
says
okay.
that's what you get for not locking in.
Bum 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 bum. Wait, how hard was Megalovania? Still needs rating is crazy. Okay. I guess I'll do that score song.
Driving in my car right after a beer.
How dare you? It's not even how it originally goes. You offend me. Ba-dum bum ba-da, bum ba-da, da-dun dun dun da,
Do
dun dun
you I
da,
know
da-dum
about
ba-da, da.
you, dog?
Shh! Shush! You're dead to me. Dun, da, da, da. Dun, dun, dun. He sits on his throne. Dun, 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 dun,
Yeah,
dun,
death
dun,
to
dun,
AI. We
dun,
fucking
dun,
hate
dun, dun,
AI.
dun. Da-da-da. Ba, ba, ba-da-da-dun, da-da-da-da-dun, 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 da-da-da-dun,
Salem's
dun,
bullying
dun,
me,
dun, dun,
guys.
dun, dun, dun. Oh, I'm locking in.
Salem's bullying me. I'm being bullied.
I'm not
Live
bullying you. You're
live on
bullying
Twitch
yourself.
live on twitch.tv/Obsidian the Rock Boy. I'm being bullied by Salem Cat on
I
my
didn't do
own
anything. Oh,
goddamn
finger
stream.
cramp, finger cramp.
That's what you get for bullying me.
Oh, okay. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Lock in, lock in, lock in, lock in, lock in.
What about Protos? What about Protogens? Honestly, I love their design. Although, wait, I correct me if I'm wrong. Is it Proto or Primogens that are the closed species?
Primogens.
They should not be
Protogens are
closed.
open.
Okay. I love Protogens.
Protogens are open.
I love Protogens. But why the fuck are Primogens like closed species?
I don't know, man.
Why even are there closed species though?
I don't know, because people are greedy and want money.
They're like, haha, you're locked behind a
See, I made
paywall.
an open but I haven't made a server for it. I did make a server for it, but it's not like shit. But it's not like, finished, and I barely done anything on it.
Yeah, there's a really cute species that I'm honestly thinking about like making an OC for, and that is actually the screech. They're the little screeches from Doors.
I have one called a Charmling, but they're not the species isn't done yet.
We hate almost all the clankers. You have the thing I love, but the fear in me is way too much. If I open wide, one of us may get lost inside, me or you. One of us is going to need to die. I have the thing you love. You love. You die.
My baby don't matter what you da, 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 ba-dum, ba-da-dum, ba-dum, ba-da-dum.
I like the fact that this is
Deltarune.
like this color isn't even gonna show up. Like it's gonna barely show up.
Now's your chance to be a big shot.
Be a big shot.
I never actually got to fight Spamton, actually. I tried Jebel and I still haven't Jebel yet.
I haven't fought anybody.
I don't remember how to get back to Jebel, because I'd have to reinstall Deltarune. Guess who my favorite Deltarune character is? From chapter 1 and 2, by the way.
Jevil.
It's not Jebel, actually.
Do a flip. I did 3. How do you like that? How do you like them apples?
My favorite's Lancer, actually.
Ah.
I love Lancer. I'm kind of tempted to want to play, I'm kind of tempted for, look, I'm trying to think. To buy Deltarune, like all the chapters so far, like the full game. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't know. Is it worth it?
I'm just
Like,
waiting
I'm not
until
really
everything's
into
out.
Deltarune. Yeah, like, I'm not really into Deltarune, but I'm like, maybe. I want to get back into it, but I'm like, Just open your mouth and close your eyes. It's raining tacos,
Yum,
raining
yum, yum,
tacos.
yum, yummity, yum.
Out in the street,
Yum, yum,
tacos.
yummity, yum.
All you can
Yum,
eat.
yum, yum,
Just
yum,
isn't
yummity,
shell,
yum.
cheese, and meat.
Yum, yum, yummity,
It's
yum.
raining tacos. Yum, 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 yum. It's like a dream. Yum, yum, yum. Bring your sour cream.
Cream, raining tacos. Ooh, raining
Shell,
tacos.
meat, lettuce, cheese. Shell,
Shell,
meat,
meat,
lettuce,
lettuce,
cheese.
cheese,
Shell,
shell,
meat,
meat,
cheese, cheese,
cheese,
cheese,
cheese,
cheese,
cheese,
cheese,
cheese,
cheese. Raining
cheese, cheese, cheese.
tacos.
Cheese,
Ooh,
as in the
raining
cheese beagle?
tacos. Ooh, tacos.
Ooh.
Ooh, raining tacos, raining tacos. tacos.
Ooh,
Tacos.
ooh.
It's raining tacos. Tacos.
Okay, Suki. How do you like it? How do you like the worm? How do you like the worm? It's a worm. It's a very wormy worm. It's an adorable worm.
Oh my god.
What?
This was a mistake.
Hello?
But
You
I think
good?
it'd be a good idea to do spooky scary skeletons. Spooky scary skeletons down your spine. Dun, 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 dun. Ba, 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 bum, ba-dum. Ba, bum, bum, ba, dun. Ba, dun, 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 dun. You're done. You're so misunderstood. Hi, Tracker. But I want to socialize, but I
Oh, hi,
think
Triker.
we
I did not
should.
like. I was like, wait, where's Triker? Are they in the
Skeleton.
chat? No, they're in the call. I did not hear a joining noise.
I
They're
just,
silent.
it's all good.
Hi, Triker. How are you doing?
Oh my god.
How
Oh
was
my
your
god. Oh my
stream, by
god.
the
Oh my
way?
god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh,
It was good, thank you. I
that's
was
good.
working on an art piece with my friends who were in D&D and
Ooh.
hi sweetie. I'm in a stream, but it's not mine. Do I need to mute? Okay.
Wow, 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 wow. Wow, 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 wow.
Oh my god. I'm almost dead.
Oh no.
Well, I lived somehow. Yippee! Is this
Okay,
guy trying to battle me?
should we do one more?
I'm surprised your stream is even 2 hours long right
Another battle? Alright, alright, alright.
now. Okay, so I guess we're doing one more raffle.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Ugh.
Alright, alright. So, the ones who have won a raffle to stream, you guys, if you guys win, we'll have to redo it. Because you already won the stream technically. Who all is who all is wanting
gonna send a
to
random message.
join?
Am I in? I don't know.
Hey, sorry
I think
about
I
that
see you.
obsidian.
It's
I had a hatchling pop in.
okay.
Why is mod view breaking for me, dog?
I have no clue.
So hope you don't mind that I just was like, I don't want to wait on the RPG gods to favor me. I'm just gonna buy.
That's so real. I can't even buy anything though. I spent my money on getting my mom a Christmas present last night.
Oh,
Oh.
poor Salem. It's too bad that Triker has access to adult money.
Hey, I have adult money. I spent like $13 last night.
Oh. Pat, there you go.
And are you wanting a worm or an ornament?
I already have a worm, but I'll get an ornament if I win the fight.
If you win the fight, yep. No, of course. If you win the fight, I understand.
I have $5 to my name, gang. It's going great for me.
if you guys I think there's a couple that aren't in the battle right now. Not in the bottle, but lurkers, if
But
you
not a rock.
guys don't see your rock, lurkers, if you guys don't see your rock, send messages so that your rock appears
then if anything, I can always ask Sid to make me one, and then I'll repay him in art.
Oh my gosh, and
Just what the hell? Oh my god!
oh my gosh.
I gotta lock in. I gotta lock in. I gotta lock in. I gotta lock in. God, I'm not locking, and I'm locking out
You're locking out.
in this game. Yes.
Ow, I just like punched my little entertainment center. Ow, they're actually gonna hurt.
Well, stop hurting yourself.
Ow. I'm sorry.
Obsidian, do you want to tell them or should I?
I'll let you.
Oh my god, trigger.
Cosmic just doesn't want to have their art, like their character drawn. Sigh.
Aw. Salem Cat, you get your ornament. Merry Christmas.
Trigger. No.
You don't have a character
I'll
drawn.
repay you.
God, no.
There's not a word.
Salem.
There's not a word. It's just the battle royale. I'm waiting to see if anybody else is gonna join.
You goofy bean. Let me do something nice for you. You can't repay a Christmas present.
Yeah, I
Not how
can.
it works. No, you cannot.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Oops,
I
I messed up.
forbid it.
Nuh-uh.
No.
Nuh-uh. No, you can't stop me.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I can.
Oh,
You can't.
No.
I
You can't
might have just
stop
accidentally killed
me.
El Macaco.
What do you mean you accidentally killed El Macaco?
I was playing catch with the little character, and I did it again. Oh shit! No! I just threw BBB again. Oh god! Wait, no! I threw Cosmic.
Whee!
I just accidentally threw Cosmic. Whoopsies. Even if you did win, you don't have a reference. Oh.
But do you have art?
I don't think they said that
No.
they don't have a character drawn.
Okay.
Sad
Because
times.
I've been there.
Okay, I think this is everybody that's gonna join the battle royale. So let's start this. Boom. You have a character in mind. You just have a small phone screen. Oh. Okay, everybody's about to battle.
Oh, good. I did make it in. I was like, I accidentally closed out the stream.
It's okay. It's got a kind of long delay counter.
I mean, but even if I win,
Oh, it looks like
How
Silva
much
has
money do I
died.
have?
I have a.
I forgot who's. Oh wow. People are. Oh my
Even if I
gosh.
win, I already have a worm and an ornament. So now I'm
Oh,
good.
I can't. We have to restart. We have to restart it. We have to restart. Ko-Fi bot won.
Why?
Ko-Fi won.
Ko-Fi by bot win. What the hell?
How dare you let Ko-Fi bot win?
We're doing it again.
I
We're doing it
feel
again.
names might have worked better. Because then you don't have Ko-Fi bot winning.
Well, draw Ko-Fi bot ads. It looks like there might be another person that had joined as well.
I was like, I don't see me in there, but then I saw me, so I'm good.
I don't know if I am, but I'm assuming I am. Or I'm dead.
You are alive. You are alive. Triker just died, sadly. You just
Aw.
died. Suki
That's
died.
okay.
Ko-Fi bot. Stream Elements is dead.
I'm dead. Dude, I swear to God, if Ko-Fi bot wins again,
Okay, it's between El Macaco and BBB. They both. Oh, BBB just got a med kit. Oh. BBB just got another med kit. They just got another med kit.
What the
they
heck?
got like 3 med kits. Holy cow. Okay. You have one, BBB.
Beep, beep, beep. Oh shoot, my phone's gonna die, gang.
Beep 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 beep.
Beep 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 beep.
I don't want to move to get my charger. I'll just let my phone die. It's okay.
No,
Oh,
charge
what
your
the
phone.
heck is this? Oh shoot, there's 4 keys.
Bro, one without seeing. We're gonna wait until ads are done. I gotta type this in
I
because
was
I don't
like,
think
oh,
they can
that's
see
weird.
it
I
yet.
don't have ads, but oh right, I subbed to you.
Yeah, you're subbed. You're subbed.
I don't have a sub, but you know what? I don't get ads anyways in Modview apparently. No, I do. I just didn't get any ads.
Ah.
So I'm vibing.
All the
Where's
med kits spawning
roadside shaw, man?
behind Melmacaco.
Shaw,
I think Stone was the one that was right there. I think I accidentally I ended up yeeting them off into the oblivion.
Stop killing people.
Oh.
Hello?
Well. It's anonymous, but I have a feeling I know who it is.
Tracker, I swear to God, if that was you.
Thank you for gifting a sub to Salem.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it played that long though. I thought I had it set to where it was just like money, money, green, green, and I thought it was gonna be that much. No, it just did the entire section of that song.
I was like, Tracker, I feel like it's
Yeah.
Tracker. Did you do
It
it?
is Striker.
I knew
I was hoping that anonymous would make it seem
Tracker,
all
it's you.
mysterious. But,
Tracker, you can't hide from me. I'm gonna have to pay you back.
no, no, no.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, yes, yes.
You don't have.
Yeah.
Yeah. You followed me on Ko-Fi. I can go Ko-Fi.
Oh shit! I should go turn all of my Smith. Wait, you don't have money. I'm not worried.
Yeah, I have $5 to money. I can't afford Jack
Oh my
Dilly squat.
gosh.
I mean, that sounded really awful, but mean it as nice as possible.
Bro. Oh shoot, my phone's gonna. Hold on, I gotta actually plug in my phone. Where's the
Plug
charger?
in your phone. Oh my gosh.
Plug it in, plug it in.
Plug it in
your
so I can go on
phone
Ko-Fi.
in.
Oh shoot,
Hey,
my phone case was coming
you
off.
said you
Gang.
didn't have money. Don't call on Ko-Fi. Rawr.
Rawr.
Rawr. I'm a dinosaur. Rawr.
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 I go rawr.
Rawr.
Row.
Rawr.
Rawr.
Meow.
It's getting sticky. Okay, you want a floofy Christmas ornament. And then after this one, I'll work on y'all's. Charker, do you want your... I
Oh,
think I
dang
already
it,
have
Heat.
your reference. Do you want your reference or do you want me to do a different character?
No, Trichosaurus, and don't forget the glasses and the frill. Make sure to look at the back, the back of
Yeah.
the body for the frill shape.
Yeah.
My
So,
phone might be
Salem,
tweaking
while
out.
I have you here.
Huh?
What?
Oh, Salem, while I have you here, is it possible to make a trike / Anki type clay beast?
Yeah, I can do that. I
Ooh.
can make you a clay beast.
Okay.
Your character also has glasses.
Do you want
Alright.
yourself to be like? Do you just want your Triceratops to be a clay beast?
Well, yes,
Or
but it don't like if there's things about the clay beast that make it a clay beast that like make it like I don't want it to be like much like a dinosaur. I want it to be kind of clay beasty.
yeah, I can make like the frill head. Make that like
Mhm.
into the mask.
Yeah,
I
well,
don't
that's
know
what
about
I was thinking.
tail. I don't know if I'd be able to do the hard shell on the back.
Well, um,
But I can add some
w-
elements. I can make it crystals instead, like crystals are coming out of the body to make it look like that.
that would be cool, and then just have the back as the like color of the shell.
Yeah, I
Like
can do that.
Bagel has done that when they created me into a dog.
Yeah, I can do it for you.
Cool.
Why is Chrome breaking? That's not nice.
Beast.
You might go to bed since you have to make cupcakes and we're visiting a friend. Okay, have a nice night, Suki. You're welcome. It was fun. I love making the worms. I love making the worms so much. And like I love making the little silly things.
I love exploding.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. No.
I'm not even on your stream
Okay, okay.
because my phone was lagging.
Yes, Salem, go to your Ko-Fi.
I did go to my Ko-Fi. Wait a minute.
Good.
Never mind. I look over and I'm like, wait. Like I was just on Ko-Fi because I was like, okay, let's see how much Truckers commissions cost. Trucker spoiling me. Trucker spoiling me rotten. I'm
Get
suing. I'm
loved.
suing. I'm suing. I'm suing.
Get loved, nerd.
I'm suing with attention.
Get
Oh my
loved.
god. Sigh. Guys, you should go follow Truckersaurus.
How dare. Y'all should be following someone else. I don't know.
No, we should all follow Trucker. Did I do all of the ones?
Oh my gosh, I just realized that when you shout someone out and if they're in your chat, they get like they literally like get like shouted out and like displayed on the thingy.
Oh, that's
Where?
awesome.
That's adorable.
I didn't see it. Oh no. Like, can you shout me out again so I can see?
That's the realest thing I've ever heard, Trucker.
I don't
I
know if it's
mean,
gonna do
don't
it. I don't know if it's gonna do it
just
again.
shout someone else who's in your chat. I don't care.
There it is.
Want to
There it
see the
is. There it is.
reaction.
There it is. Oh my gosh, that's
Oh,
adorable. I didn't even
okay.
know it did that.
That's cute.
Oh.
Oh,
It's another reason why I love Stream Elements. Oh my, or not Stream Elements.
dream avatars.
Stream Avatars.
Yeah.
I don't know what it did, but whatever it was, I bet it was cute and adorable.
It
It
was.
raised me up like Rafiki lifting up Simba and full screen glowed and the animals started cheering and
That's awesome.
I'm a dork, I'm sorry.
You know what? The Lion King, good movie.
Yeah.
I like the live
Just
actions
kidding.
too,
I
but
do
not
too.
like the
They're
first
not as
one
good.
as much. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did like Mufasa though.
Yeah.
Mainly because of the songs.
this every single time. But I really need to stop
Gang, I think my attention span is
doing
getting
the
worse
original
lately.
head circle. Oh, I've noticed that as well. Like for me, like I've noticed me doing that.
So Salem, enjoy your commission.
I got a art.
You got money.
I got money.
I sent you money.
You did. And I shall pay you back eventually.
Oh,
Yes.
don't
Watch
make me
me.
keep being nice to you. Rar,
I'll keep being nice to you.
rar.
Rawr.
Don't ask Bagel what happened when they turned their commissions off. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Rar.
Rawr. I'm gonna just leave all my slots open permanently. I just, forget the slot amount. I don't care.
I have mine like where it's like all my slots are open as well.
Yeah.
Like there's not
See, I
a
had a certain
there's
amount,
not a
but
limit for mine.
yeah, mine had the limit, but then I took it off because I was like, I want to get my mom a plushie of a pet that like passed away.
Oh.
But like they needed 3 photos, and it was like gonna get really expensive with what I wanted to add, and I think it would have been possible to get it by Christmas. And before, like, if you wanted to get it rushed, it'd be more expensive. And I'm like, Then of course the whole 3 photos of the pet. I don't have 3 photos. I only had the one, so I don't think they'd allow it. Which is kind of sad, but about it.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking of getting it from Cuddle Clones, but because I saw an ad for it on my phone, and then I kept getting ads. I'm like, I can't afford this anymore.
No.
Because I went through the steps, as one should, and then I looked at it, and I'm like, yikes. 3 photos? I don't have 3 photos.
Yeah. I also asked for the feral form because I thought it would be fun.
Yeah, I can do that. So it actually, you get the standing up one, and then it turns into the feral form. Because
Cool.
that's how clay beasts are, so you're getting like 2 things.
Nice. Merci beaucoup.
I'm gonna get off Roblox. Dang, I'm dying of heat. I don't think that's good, but it's probably fine. Yeah, it's only 75 degrees in my room. It's fine. I just heard someone go wee wee in chat. Like, excuse me?
What?
Shut up, random person. I don't care about your wee
What?
wee wee wee. They literally went wee wee in VC chat on Roblox. I hear wee wee. I'm like, shut up. I don't care. Wee 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 wee. Instead of going wee 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 wee. I heard them go wee wee. I was like, hello? What do you mean wee wee? Wee 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 wee. Like, okay. Wee wee wee, I guess. Wee 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 wee.
Man, these songs that I'm listening to right now, like right now it's Blood in the Water, like Blood and Water, uh, or is it like pronounced
Oh
like
shoot,
Blood
I forgot
slash Water? I think it's that one. What is
Boogle's gonna
what I'm
slander me
listening to?
for not paying attention to our child. Blood and life are and safe. What?
Damn.
So I have one life. Oh. I accidentally clicked no on skip tutorial. Kind of sad. I don't have fish.
This song I like have visible memories. Hi Aaron.
Aaron? He's in the
Yeah, he's
in
in
VC?
chat. No, he's in chat.
Oh.
But I have memories of this song because I would play Bee Simulator on Roblox all the time while like listening to this.
Okay. Let's try going this way then, I guess.
You just woke up. Oh, good morning.
That is the realest thing ever. I got jump scared by my game. Oh shoot, I hear a monkey! Oh my god! I'm dead. Why did it give me the one life curse?
What are you playing?
A ripoff of Hunters. Or Hunted. It's called Hunted, but it's a ripoff of that one game. I don't remember the game name.
You were up from yesterday from 9 to 3? From 9 p.m. to 3 p.m. today? Oh my gosh. You okay?
I don't think they are. No. Absolutely not. Okay, child's been fed and everything, so I don't have to worry about that. Okay. Now I can get back to commissions. I can draw again. Which means I'm gonna have to leave EC and join from
You
my
slept
phone.
for 17 hours yesterday. Holy shit, dude.
Sid, you're gonna have to kick me from the call. My Discord's broken.
Oh. So you're leaving? You're leaving us?
No, I'll come back. I just gotta join from my phone.
Oh, okay. Okay. You know, if you just join from your phone, you can do that. And it'll automatically
Oh.
kick you off your PlayStation call.
Yeah, well, I don't want to do that. I want it to be a special little snowflake. Yeah.
Oh, you've been sick. Oof.
Hi,
Welcome back.
Nah, I'm gone for good, dog. Hi, Aaron.
Arar.
Hi, Aaron.
I live.
Thank you,
This
Go
devil
Bot.
has come to die. Oh, thank you, Ko-Fi Bot, I guess.
Thank you, Bot.
Damn,
Thank
you sound horrible right now.
I woke up not even 10 minutes ago.
Damn.
I realized I accidentally downloaded the same reference that Tracker just gave me from Ko-Fi. I still had it from the last time I asked for permission.
Sid has into our head telling us to say thank you, Bot.
Thank you, Ko-Fi Bot. Oh yeah, Tracker, you want to get my mom for Christmas?
Pardon?
You want to see what I was gonna get my mom for Christmas? Well,
Yeah.
what
Yes.
not you, Aaron. You don't count.
Oh.
Oh.
I'll send it to you. I was sending Trekkers a ref. That was gonna be so sad.
You're just getting Triker.
I'm giving Trekkers a ref.
All I want for Christmas is the triker. The triker.
Trichosaurus? Sure.
The Trichosaurus.
The Trekkers ref. That's all I want for Christmas. All I want for Christmas is Trichosaurus ref sheet.
No. Mine.
Last Christmas, you gave me your art, and the very next day, I ate it away.
You
Okay,
ate it.
if you said you threw it away, I would have like absolutely murdered you. You did not do that to art. Eating it though, that's okay. You can eat people's art.
Last Christmas, you put a gun to my head. No, that doesn't work.
Someone special.
This year, to save you from Kofi bot, I gave it to someone special.
Why did I get pinged in the lobby of Hucky Puck's channel?
Oh, that's adorable.
Oh, that's why.
Sid, I finished the Greek temple build.
Ooh,
I'm just gonna go
nice.
build it in survival now.
Yeah.
But I grabbed Lightmatica, which will hopefully make the process easier.
It should. It should.
Now I can buy my mom more Christmas gifts when the money comes in.
Dude, I was able to buy my mom 2 Christmas gifts, and now she's like, no more. And I'm just like, but, like, no. Then she was talking about how her car needs a little repair work, and I was just like, I can get your car fixed. And she's like, no.
My mom can't stop me. She has my credit card, but Cash App, I could just like.
And
do it.
then after that whole conversation, that's when she'll be gone for 4 days. I get the house to myself.
Ah.
God, I'm gonna be sleeping a lot.
Well, you need to get the sleep. You're sick.
Dude, for like the past week, I've been like barely functional. I was just like, you know what, Thanksgiving, I'm just gonna sleep all day. I slept all day. I felt so normal. And then I was up for nearly like 22 hours.
Oof.
Not quite, it was like 18 hours, but still.
Yikes.
And now my body's back to feeling like crap, but it's fine.
It's fine.
Dude, I called out of work. I was like, hey, I'm gonna be running between my house, the dogs, right, taking care of them, and between the hospital. So I'm gonna be running between all three, and they're just like, can you get us a note? And I was like, you know what? I'm not even gonna argue, so I was just like, I'll try, right? And frankly,
Man,
I
you didn't
really
even
don't
get
care if
to
I get ran
enjoy
out.
any Thanksgiving stuff.
Who?
You.
Oh, yeah, no, I haven't even had any turkey yet. I'm gonna have some of that tomorrow. I'm gonna
Dang.
throw I'm gonna throw a rerun of the Thanksgiving Day Parade on, eat some cold turkey, call it a day. Oh, I need to get up. I need to let the dogs go potty. But You know when you're comfortable, but you're like in that weird pretzel position, so it takes a second to actually get out of bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the most comfortable of positions, dog.
Right? Anyway, how are y'all doing?
I'm doing good. What about you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
So he yawns into the mic. I'm banning him. Banned. Banned and blocked.
Yawn into
Hell.
the mic. You're like a foot away from me.
You're like a foot away from me. When
Crazy.
we heard the ooh,
Literally.
Listen.
I'm
Listen, Linda.
listening, dog.
Listen, Linda. I'm God.
That's in your dreams, alright? Okay, that's in your dreams.
Let me be
We're in
delusional.
reality. We're in reality. Get it right, okay? Okay.
No. I want to be delusional.
mm-hmm.
I realize I don't know how to draw perspectives. It's okay. I'm doing this for cheese. I'm doing this for cheese.
I'm gonna let the dogs be out of their cage for like 3 hours, and then they're gonna go in their cage again for a couple hours, so I can sleep more. And this is just gonna be a continuing cycle for like a while. I should probably go turn off the extra lights so people don't attack our house. I'm
Oops, I was drawing
joking.
schnoz. I was drawing the wrong schnoz.
Only Mateo would attack my house.
I would not.
Sure you would. Hello. Oh, look at your big stretch.
Hey.
Aaron, I don't even know where you live, actually.
I've given you my address like 15 times.
Yeah, and I don't remember every single time, so I don't know where you live, dog.
Unironically, your mom might actually know where I live more than you do.
What?
Yeah, because their mom wanted to know where I lived for when I inevitably do kidnap Mateo for a bit.
I got my phone lagging.
Dang.
So she kept asking Mateo to get my address from me. I'm sorry, baby girl. So I had to send my address like 15 times.
Do I remember? No. Is that okay? Probably.
Sure, buddy. Go potty. Go potty, Red. Go.
I
They're
don't
gonna
know how
be up till
many.
now.
I don't know if y'all know my address or not. I don't think y'all have my
Not your
address.
current address, but I still have your old address.
Ew.
Well, for some reason, on the DoorDash thing, it was just like, don't ask me why I kept the receipt. It left me with your address. Oh, it was just like, oh, we got a call from this place, blah blah blah. So that's fun. Doxes its old house.
I'm not drawing this. I'm not doing this character justice. Jeez, I'm sorry. I'm failing you.
Oh no.
This is a lot, by the way. I'm feeling pretty epic.
Is this what they call the cheese tax?
The cheese tax. The
The
cheese
cheese
tax.
tax.
You gotta pay the cheese tax every time you're cooking.
When the cheese drawer is open, you gotta come looking.
Tax.
Rules are the rules and the facts are the facts. But when you wanna get some cheese, you gotta pay the tax.
The cheese tax.
The cheese tax.
The cheese tax. Imagine if we just summoned cheese with that. That'd have been so funny.
That would have been
very
hilarious.
How was Gartic phone last night?
It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
That's
Yeah,
good,
I gotta do it again tomorrow.
Yippee!
though. Oh, nice.
Yeah, I told Willow I would join them because I got nothing to do, and I wanted to do things, so it works out.
Okay. I will never be an avid spender on Zenless Zone Zero, right? However, once a year I get to spend a little bit of money. So, I spent a little money and just to ensure that I actually get the next Void Hunter.
I think that claw would be hidden, I think. Or would it go like this?
Mateo, you should send me a photo of what you're working on. I think you did.
I can live stream what I'm working on. You know?
Wait, you're live streaming? I thought only
I said
Finn
I
was
can't.
live streaming.
No, I mean sharing my screen, dog. That also
Oh,
live
yeah, share
streaming.
your screen with me. I'll try to stream on my computer or something.
Crazy.
Oh, look at you. You're sitting so pretty.
Guys, my phone is gonna lag out and I'm gonna get kicked from the VC. I can feel it. No, I'm not getting a Facebook ad.
Why does cheese have horns in that one? Are they a goat?
It's cheese bold. No, it's cheese bold. They're a kobold.
Oh.
See? Kobold. That's what he wanted for their commission, so I'm doing it.
Cheese bald. Damn.
It's cheese
You
bold,
should
but
add like a hidden layer. So that's just you make them bald.
Oh gosh.
cheese already looks bald. Look at this.
No, I mean you make them look like a hairless cat.
Oh, that's insane.
So
I'll do this one as like melted cheese, and then I'll do this one as like circle cheese, the wheel cheeses, and then we got the square cheeses. I
I'm
don't know, that's probably a mix of that one.
Yeah.
gonna send something in Heather's.
Okay, look at that. I got a cookie run notification. That reminded me, I didn't play at all today. I was like thinking about it, but then I'm like, nah.
Okay, what is bro sending in Heather's?
Heather,
Heather and Heather.
I love Heather,
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 and Heather.
Heather.
I hate Heather, Heather, and Heather.
Wrong thing.
Oh. Welcome back! My mom's home.
Ah.
Oh, okay.
You're so cute. Oh my goodness. I need to go grab myself some caffeine. My mom just texted me she's okay to not worry about shit. She's just gonna be in the hospital for a couple days, and I'm just like, okay.
Okay. That's insane, dog. If my mom said that she was in the hospital, I'd be worrying
Oh
for like the 5 days.
damn.
Listen, I'm not saying I'm not worried. The problem is, I did kind of just wake up.
Yeah, fair enough, but like,
So,
you know.
I'm just slightest bit monotone.
That's so fair. Oh my god, I'm lagging. My phone's lagging. It's tweaking out. I think it's time to get a new phone eventually.
My goodness. Mateo wakes up tomorrow with something in their mailbox saying don't open till Christmas. It's an iPhone 920 or some shit.
It's an
I don't
iPhone
like
20.
dog. I don't like iPhones. I wouldn't take an iPhone if my life depended on it, actually.
If someone gave you an
Oh,
iPhone, it'd be
I'd
kind
give it
of rude
away.
to not accept it, mate.
I'd give it away. I'm sorry. I don't like iPhones.
You
I don't
give
like-
it away?
Yes, I don't like iPhones. I hate iPhones.
What if I buy you like an Android? Would you give it away then?
No, I like Androids. I have an Android. I don't like iPhones.
That's fair.
iPhones are, I'm sorry, they break so easily and they die so fast. It's kind of bad, actually. Like, their products are not
My
good.
phone sits at 20% and that lasts me like a couple of hours.
You have an iPhone?
Her
Yeah.
earrings. Yeah. Just give me a second
I've
quickly.
had an iPhone for the past 3 years.
I'm trying to decide like what the ornament pattern should be.
Oh, you're so.
Aw. I hate Heather, Heather.
Oh, wait, real quick. Gotta
What?
get this out of the way. For the Heather's group chat, I remember I was Heather Chandler. Mateo,
Yep.
you were like Veronica or some shit.
No, I said JD. I wanted to be JD.
Okay,
Mm.
you're the psychopath.
Yep. Hell yeah, I am.
Riley was the yellow Heather. Can't remember her name.
Heather McNamara?
Yeah. I think Sid was. Not Sid. I think Ash was either.
I keep saying their real names is crazy, dog.
I'm sorry. I do apologize to them. They have the most generic ass names out there. At least I have one generic name and one
Think I
Greek
might.
inspired name.
Fair enough. And then there's just me.
Yeah,
I base my name off of freaking OC.
which is fine. I mean, my name is also based off of my OC. Also,
I
now
might
y'all
do one of
confusing
those.
my Sona for the little tree spirit I like to draw. Like, stop.
Sorry, I thought it was.
My Sona's a dragon, not a deer.
This is crazy. Fair enough, though. Fair enough. I think this looks very goober. I feel like this is very cheese.
It is very cheese. I don't know how cheese's personality is. I haven't stuck around for his stream before.
Very cheese.
You okay?
Could be like one of those striped ornaments. Oh,
Who? Oh,
there's
they'll be back. They'll be back. Their phone probably crashed. Oh, the rocks have fox ears and tails. I still love a fish.
that's a shark. That's a shark.
You know
I'm
what a
assuming
shark is, Sid?
ornaments that have been bought will
Huh?
be done off stream.
I'm probably gonna do it after this one.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah.
I thought you were just devoting the stream to raffles.
Yeah, I'll probably do it after this one.
Cool. Thank you.
I'm just trying to like get like a feel for how I should do them. Like this one can be one of those striped ornaments.
And just have fun with it. I mean, we only paid $3, so I feel like that's practically free, and there's no room for complaining.
Because the ornaments they're gonna be like shiny. They're not gonna be like really fluffy because
Mm-hmm.
they're ornaments and whatnot. They're glass. Oh, without line art, it's that's kind of cool without line art.
I wonder if I can pull what I do in Mateo's stream and just win the first art raffle I participate in. I'm so cool. Oh, they died. Sad days.
Fastest flickering memories echoing. Can I remember my sanity so non-existent, my memory so long gone missing. I ain't got no time for him to enjoy ya, just a little toy ya, forever locked away. La 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 la, locked away. Stuck la la la, locked away, locked away. Locked away. Just a normal kid on the outside. Way deep down, I have demons and they won't die.
Hey. Damn, you have demons, but they won't die? That's crazy. That's crazy sauce.
What was that?
What was what?
That sound.
My backdoor slider.
That sounded like a sewing machine, dude.
Yeah, it actually does. Why? Don't bring that to my attention.
Why did that sound like a sewing machine?
I don't know.
I don't think a
know.
sliding door should sound like that. I don't think a sliding glass door, or like, is it a glass door?
Yeah, it is.
I don't think a sliding glass door should sound like that, dude.
Hey, don't hit the door. No, go potty. Go. You were sniffing my room. I assumed you needed to go potty. Go potty. I don't want them to go potty in my room. Now my alarm goes off. It ignored the first three, or I slept through them. Either way.
They're all alone. But he's ugly, and I'm glad he's dead. There is no fucking winning game. She had every right, but it's alright. She'll be fine. I listen to a lot of true crime.
Thank goodness you two are attached to me. You two are super attached to me and not my mom, because y'all would be stressing that she's not here. So, our last dog, right? Whenever my mom was not around for when she was normally supposed to be home, right? Say she was either working later at the hospital, she would get all wigged out because she was like, "Where's my mom?"
Oh.
While it's cute, it's really hard to see them stressing out like that.
Yeah.
So it's nice that they're just attached to me, like all the time. So I don't think they'll notice she's gone. They probably will, but here's to hoping they won't. And then when she comes back, they'll act like normal, or they'll knock her over. One of the two. Oh, I cut my foot open.
Ow.
I think I did that earlier today. Holy crap. I still can't get over the fact that I can get a bag of dog food, the exact same brand of dog food, same size, whatever, for $30 at Walmart. But if you go over to like PetSmart or some shit, it's like 60, $70. I'm just like,
Gee,
ugh.
6, 7.
No.
Jeez. Turn up when you dig deep down. You should know better than that by now. It's not profound to know. You could break a shovel when you break new ground. You dig dirt up when you dig deep down. By now, it's not profound to. Oh my gosh, I'm hiccuping. You can never know. You can never know.
Ay, ay, ay. Did Did you hear
Yeah.
about the Did you hear about the devs of Dispatch having to say, people getting the bad ending is not a glitch?
I heard that a while ago.
Kind of funny. Why are y'all licking a cup? Don't lick the cup.
I'm sorry, I have to go.
Oh, okay. Have a nice day.
Thank you. I've just had a very negative interaction with somebody and it's just like exhausted me. So
Oh, I'm
Okay, it's
sorry.
okay.
kind of why I was quiet here for a bit. I was just
Right, right.
Lord.
Yeah,
I
take care of yourself. Take care of yourself, dude.
yeah. I I'm yeah, I won't get into it here. It's just dumb and I basically someone's feelings don't matter if the other person thinks they're right. So I'm like, okay, well,
Mm.
great, you're right, but you still have to be considerate. So,
Hashtag dysfunctional relationship.
hmm have a good stream, Obsidian.
Have a good night. Take care of yourself.
Thank you. Hugs. Bye.
Good luck,
Bye.
Tigers. Oh. Come on, Red. Oh. I join and then two people leave. Both of which have understandable reasons. I'm just being a butt.
I saw the emotes on the thing show up first before. Also, thank you, God, bye bye. The emotes showed up first before the like on the stream avatars before the actual chat message registered. So I was like, what the heck just exploded? Literally, what just exploded?
Damn, paying Stone to say thank you, Ko-Fi bot. That's wild. You know what you should do?
What?
You should hydrate.
Okay. There we go.
That's good. You know, hey, Sid. You know what you should do?
What? What should I do?
You should hydrate. Oh, I forgot to press the button.
Okay, I'll hydrate. Okay, I'll hydrate.
I'm out of points, mostly because I hydrated you like 12 times last stream.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, we had to drown you with that cherry coke. What can I say except
It was
you're
cherry
welcome?
7-Up.
Oh.
At least I
7-Up has
think
a
it was.
cherry flavor?
Yeah, I was trying to get their Shirley Temple, and they didn't have the Shirley Temple, and like they put cherry, and I literally like I immediately like the moment that I got the thingy, I went and was like, no, no, do not get cherry, refund, please. They had already checked out.
Oh no. So I'm assuming.
I had to drink it.
Yeah. Ah, damn. Sorry.
You good?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay. Don't die on stream.
What? Ned. What's that? Where are you? Toilet? The fuck you mean toilet?
What?
I don't know. It's one of Mateo's memes that I remember.
A bar of soap. Could it
Rawr.
be? Could it be?
You know what? You know what? 2016 RAR XD Uwu.
Oh gosh.
Holy crap, she almost fell off the bed.
Who almost just fell off the bed?
Red. My doggy dog.
Damn, don't throw your dogs off the bed, damn.
She was fighting with Pearl to get the
Oh, her
squeaky head
earrings are on both? What's wrong? What's the matter? What's the matter, Martha?
Martha.
What's the matter? What's the matter, Martha? What's the matter? What's the matter, Martha? What's the matter? What's the
So
matter?
what genre is Will Woods? Are they like rock? Are they jazz? Or like are they country? Like what music genre are they?
Chaos jazz? With the question
Chaos
mark.
jazz?
With the question mark?
You know what? That's real. When I first saw your Will Wood makeup, for Will Wood, my first thought was, oh, they're going to see Beetlejuice.
They do like Beetlejuice though. They do really do like Beetlejuice.
Box Lord getting pat or petting you. One of the two.
Bats. I need to make a little emote for that. I feel like that would be adorable.
Yeah, pat emote. Except for it's a tasting rock emote.
What?
Yeah, you know, you just have an emote of you eating a rock.
Oh gosh.
Is bye 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 Triger? I don't know.
What?
Was this bye 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 a person?
BBB.
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 Yep. It totally said BBB the first time. I don't know what you're talking about. You're talking crazy stuff.
Did you just ask if they were Triker?
No.
Did you just ask if they were Triker?
No. I would never do that.
Is bye 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 Triker? I'm currently working on their raffle redeem. Not redeem, but
Nice.
since they're the raffle winner, I'm literally Ah yes, guys, this is Trikersaurus. This is Trikersaurus.
Trust.
Trust me.
Just me. Also, my goodness, dude.
Haven't seen it yet.
Talking about Fiona and Cake. You're waiting till the entire season's out.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, the cliffhangers are killing me. So, Red, what's it like learning that you can no longer fit under my bed? She doesn't want to talk to me now. That's
Imagine.
Ay, ay, ay. Dude, I almost texted work being like, if it's an emergency, you can call me in. I'm glad I didn't. Because had they called me in, I would have realized how much I didn't want to go to work.
Yeah.
Why are you licking my foot? Your toys are 2 inches to the right. Lick one of your toys. Sid, how have I raised such acoustic dogs?
I don't know.
One falls off the bed. The other one. Oh, wait, did I tell you this story? Okay, so we went to the vet, right, to get them their shots and their
Mm-hmm.
worm treatment, right? Because they ended up with swarms, which fucking sucks. And we asked about the little knot on Pearl's head, right? Dead ass,
Mm-hmm.
right? No testing, no really looking at it for more than 2 seconds. The first thing the doctor says, oh, she's brain damaged.
What?
Right? That was my reaction, and we're still making fun of him, even though this interaction happened like a month ago.
Oh, she's brain damaged. No tests or anything?
Dude, we left the clinic. I think the store was still open. and I think one of the other nurses heard me making fun of this guy. Because I was just like, oh, she's burned him. Like, thanks, guy. Then he tried to sell us, like, a dog food brand that's, like, tiny bags, right? Tiny bags of food that are, like, $50. I'm just like, no.
Ugh.
Another vet already told us that the food we're getting is a preferred food brand for these dogs. It's like,
Yeah, that vet just seems like he's just trying to sell you stuff.
right? Hey, what you doing out here? What you doing out here? You're supposed to be in my room. What are you doing out here? Cutie patootie. So shiny, so strong. So I can't believe you raised the Crazy House Crazy ones from 2,000 points to 3,000.
Yep.
You should lower it again. Or change it.
Nope.
Or add another singing emote. Not emote, redeem.
So I am kind of thinking about like doing redeems because you know, like you see the rocks. I'm thinking about having it's gonna be really expensive though. It's gonna be really expensive. So that people will be like, okay, I'm gonna save up for this and I'm gonna save up. And it'll be
Yeah.
like a little redeem to have like a little hat for say your character. Or like you get to design a little hat. That is my idea.
Yo, I could get my mask and horns.
Yeah. Basically.
Are they horns or are they antlers? I think they're more antlers, but that's not the point. Not the point. Yeah. But that's a really cute idea. So what's you thinking of setting the price point to? Like 10,000 points? 12,000
50,000.
points? Holy shit.
It's something that people will have to basically save up for. So that
That's
they're not
fair.
using their points on rent, like the smaller things, they'll be like saving up.
Like hydrate. You don't want people to hydrate you like a bajillion times.
Like a bajillion times.
Even though it's literally just me and Water who normally overspend our points.
Water hasn't been in my chat in a while.
Uh, Water's coming back from their trip to Japan on the 9th.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. Thanks to the server I'm on, I kind of keep in. I keep in contact a bit. There's already a plan to kidnap Water the second he joins the Minecraft world. So.
Okay, I think I have finished this one. So
Very
like
cute.
the tail's the little ornament thingy. I think. Like that's what I'm going for. Like the tail is like the little like handle for the ornament. So like when it's on the tree, it would when it's on the tree, let me get the tree color. Let me get a tree color.
Green. Your elemental power is green.
So like on the
How could I ruin
tree,
your
it would be like that.
Yo.
And then I'll just quickly.
Did you ever struggle to have a tree up because of your cat? when you had cats?
Kind of. But it was mainly because so when we had Diablo still, when he was still alive, he kept on trying to eat the trees. Um,
Oh?
yeah, he kept on trying to eat the tree every time we put it up. And then Gigi would straight up try to climb it. So this is how like the tail would hold on to it, basically. So if you see me, please take my keys. I don't wanna be an organ donor. When we have enough power since the blackout started, 40 kg for the broken hearted. I try to see. Woo. But I'd probably just drink that too. Yeah.
Ay, ay, ay. Today was so
I'm
eventful in
going
like
down and
all the
I'm taking
wrong
you
ways.
with me.
And then we had a couple of good things. Like this, super cool. You're making ornaments, you're making little hats, you're planning the future Veronica Sawyer. You'll go
What?
to some college and marry a lawyer. I don't know why a random Heather's reference came to my head, but you know what?
Okay. So we have their ornament. Also, the ornaments will be posted in the art chat, uh, and sent through DMs after stream. Cause yeah. So I don't miss any. Cause I did the worm one. I did the worm two. Oh, this is worm one, which is ants, and then this is Suki's. I should probably also say that.
I shall get a worm one day.
I'm honestly thinking about like having them just for like $3 on my Ko-fi.
That's
Like
fair.
it'll be like a separate thing, and it'll be like
Along with your feet, guy.
I took those off. I took those off. That was as a joke, and she's actually got one. But yeah, I'm thinking about like adding on like a little because they're technically raffle redeems, so they'll just be like what $3. And so like you could get this for $3, and then it'll probably be on my Ko-fi like that.
Yeah,
I'm
I
kind of
get you.
hungry.
I'm
Man, I
hungry.
did
I'm
not I did
sleepy.
not grab enough. I did not grab enough leftovers.
Hi, hungry. I'm Dad.
I really want Wingstop for some reason.
Unironically,
Like
if
I
I like
really want
wings, I
Wingstop.
would so agree with you.
Wingstop.
Are they still open? Oh yeah, it's only like 7. What am
Yeah,
I
it's only
talking?
7. But yeah, yours is actually the first like finished ornament I've got.
What? How many work in progress ornaments do you have?
Well, last night I was just playing around and where is it? Like this is the one that I was chesting on.
Oh,
So just like a little Sid one.
very cute.
Cuz I got it to where their tails like up here, their wings are at the very bottom cuz yeah. Also, I found out, so I'm ordering keychain. I'm ordering two keychains of the Sid worm just to see like what quality they are. And honestly, if they're pretty good, like if they're good quality, I might actually uh
said merch?
Yeah, I might actually try to sell it like the keychains individually. But that means that I'll also probably have to like I'll probably put it on like Ko-fi for like shipping information or whatever, because there is a way that you can ship things out, but I don't know how much they'd like. I don't know how they would do that though, because I don't have a printer or anything to print the things. But I think I can just do that at the post office.
I think you could set up a PO box. I think you'll have to set
That's
up a PO box so it doesn't
that's to send things
bounce
out.
you.
That's to send these things out. Like I need a
Well,
printer
yeah.
to print like shipping labels. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, no, you have to go to the post office for those.
Yeah. I'm looking at the Wingstop menu because I'm hungry now.
That's so real.
Burbia, you're
Can you
not
Gerard?
alone. Rawr,
Gerard.
rawr,
Gerard.
rawr,
Gerard.
Gerard,
Gerard.
rawr.
What? So,
Wingstop's kind of
since season
expensive.
2 is now fully out, have you gotten a chance to watch it?
No, I have not.
Ah, damn. So you don't know about Vox's stupid little K-pop dance?
What the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not saying any more than that. Because it's so stupid and funny at the same time.
The fuck?
Yeah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
I'm concerned. I'm very concerned right now.
Dude, the way the animators drew fucking Alistair's face, they were having fun with that shit. Cause he actually looks decent now, unlike season 1. Sorry. But that fuck ass Bob kind of makes the shot season look weird.
Slay.
Soleil. Ay ay ay.
I need to grab Triker's ref. Oh, so y'all are gonna do karaoke?
Huh?
Damn.
Where do you see this?
And Heather's, you and Salem were talking about it.
I thought we were talking about that in DMs.
Damn. Wow. Wow.
No,
Wow.
you see my fuck ass spellings. Stop.
Wow.
Come on. It's Levion.
Wow. Leaving me for karaoke? Wow. I cannot believe you guys. Where's Striker? There they are. There they are.
I have no idea if I'm even gonna stay on VR chat that long. So we're kind of doing this by ear. Plus, I'll still have your stream open.
I think I might actually end up doing the other ornaments off stream. I can't find Triker's ref. I cannot find Triker's ref. And I think if I open Opera, it's going to crash my PC if I'm streaming at the same time, because that's happened before. So I need to go and I think I need to go ahead and dip. But also at the same time, like, what? 3.5 hours is pretty good for a stream.
Yeah,
we got a lot done. We got a lot done.
You got 3 art pieces done. That's
Yeah, that
pretty
averages
good.
about an hour per art piece.
Yeah.
I think I still have the ref from the Ko-Fi commission.
Sid, were you there last night for the Gartic phones?
Yeah.
My first time really adding color to any of my art pieces, and unironically, it kind of worked for some of them.
But yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and you did okay. Oh hell yeah. That's awesome. Let me see who is live. Who do we know that is live? Oh, Back Alley's live. Back Alley's live. I still feel so bad because I literally mixed both Back Alley and Manic. They're also doing a Phasmophobia charity stream. That's honestly really cool. Okay. The reason your back is sore because your posture is shrimp. That's how I feel most of the time. But yeah, Back Alley's an awesome artist. I did one of the worms for them. Bike. You have a back. You're right. You have a bike. anyways. I just realized they can't hear you because I'm in the ending stream screen. Shush. But yeah, I hope y'all have a nice day, night, whatever time it is for you. Be cool, be safe, be nice to the raidee. That is Back Alley Cryptid. Back Alley Cryptid is awesome. Their art is... Aaron, what the fuck? Aaron literally just was like cock and ball, literally, while I was saying that. What the fuck? Anyways, I'm taking my headphones off so I can't hear Aaron. Have a nice day, night, whatever time it is for you. Be cool, be safe, be nice to the raidee. It's Back Alley Cryptid. Back Alley Cryptid is really cool. They're good at art. They're doing a Phasmophobia charity stream. It is 18 plus though, so just letting y'all know it is 18 plus. But yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna go and work on Triker and Salem's and probably get myself something to eat as well. Anyways, bye guys!